All right, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Queen Elizabeth Oval for today's Workforce Access interleague matches with the Bendigo Football Netball League hosting the Victorian Amateur Football Association. Before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today, the Jar Jar Rung people. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. We acknowledge their deep spiritual connection to this land and the ongoing contribution they make to this life of the region and of our great game. Today we welcome the VAFA to Bendigo and thank them for their commitment to representative football, and we also congratulate them on 100 years of the Big V. A round of applause for the VAFA, please. Obviously today's night would not be possible if we didn't have the great support of our interleague sponsors, first and foremost, Workforce Access, who have been long-time loyal supporters of our representative teams. We'd also like to thank the Bendigo Bank, Keys of Bendigo, Fair Income Builds, Evolution Bulls and Premier Data for their support. We thank you all for supporting interleague football and hope that you enjoy what promises to be a high-action afternoon of action here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Best of luck to both the Bendigo Football Netball League and VAFA sides. So please now, if you're able, could you stand for the national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get the two captains to meet the umpires for the toss of the coin, and then we'll get things underway. Good luck to both teams.
Forward to watching representing their Bendigo for the very first time today as well. But Paddy, for the amateurs, it's a little bit more difficult to their selection because there's up to 50 sides that can be picked. But the big one that I'm finding here is West Brunswick have a representative in the side for the first time in 17 years.
Yeah, it's Ben Ablett, the right footer out of Division 2, formerly of Harvey Brunswick Lescheneau in WA. Benny Ablett, you won't miss him because he does look like an Ablett running up and down the wing. No relation.
With a bald head
reliably informed, yes indeed. But he's had a super year, 11 games, 10 goals. For the Maggies for West Brunswick as we see the toss here, and it's Bo Morris's skipper Cal Linehan skippering the Amos today. They'll be kicking, he wins the toss and they'll be kicking to the right of your radio dial towards the Bendigo City end of the ground.
Got Cal Cummins down there joining us on the boundary as well. Cal, are you down there? What's the conditions like at the moment?
Yeah, you've got me, guys. It's a little bit blowy down here at ground level. The breeze certainly heading to the right of screen down to the city end, but I can tell you it's probably a 3 to 4 goal breeze as well. So we're interested to see how both teams fare going into and against the breeze.
And we saw that, Cam, in the under-19s game. The Victorian Amateur Footy Association started the game really strongly with the breeze, but were also able to play well into it.
Yeah, they really set the game up, especially in that third quarter when they had the breezes, when they really went to the damage mode. The second the breeze, they probably got a few more as well. Bendigo were definitely in the contest at quarter time, but it was that third quarter where they really put them to the sword with that advantage. So, but I did find it seemed to be coming not so much directly towards goal. It was almost coming towards us a little bit more as well. Definitely favouring that city end, but certainly looked like it was coming across, especially into that right-hand forward pocket. We've seen a lot of entries going right into the pocket there.
Yeah, and that is something that the Victorian Amateur Footy Association's players would be used to dealing with. There are a number of wind-affected grounds across the competition. The one I particularly focused on is the one where Caulfield Grammarians play Glen Huntley Park, which is a really tricky one. It's just about an 8-goal breeze, and they love playing down there the fields because it gives them such a strong advantage. I'm interested in Lockie Tardrew.
Yes.
The former skipper of Collingwood VFL, the reigning Mickelson medalist. Tell me about it.
Yeah, terrific player for Sandhurst, Lockie Tardrew. So involved in the Mickelson medal. He's always up there and his absolute domination. He continues to stack loads of the footy. So looking forward to the job that he does in the midfield. Derek, who are you looking forward to watching from a Bendigo perspective?
Yeah, look, I want to see, have a good look at Jack Reaper. I think he'll be a real leader down there, so hopefully he can marshal the defence.
So let's get the interleague game underway. Bendigo versus the Victorian Amateur Association. Here's Paddy Grinley.
So Jack Sheridan doing the ruck work today against Cal Crisp for this contest as the first clearance goes the way of the home squad, and that's a bright start down this commentary wing in the hands of Jack O'Shaughnessy, the left footer. The 18-year-old puts it inside 50. First entry of the day going the way of the home squad. It's a hat kick towards the goal mouth. It's cut down though by Nathan Ligris. He's another left footer out of Fitzroy, averaging a lazy 36.1 disposals this year, Cam Power, so he's been a super asset for the Roy boys. He goes out wide to Bailey Pays and he'll handball to the inside.
Into the inside he goes. It's Manasakis who will come in, Manasakis I should say, come in board with the handball, just missed the handball. Playing on the far wing at the moment. They're able to find their way through the amateurs. Ball spills out in the direction of Jordan Bussettle. Bussettle sends it upside. Now they can look to get their first inside forward 50. They've got it moving. The option inside forward 50 here will be Nichols if he can get there. He's still presenting a good lead. He leads out. Nichols couldn't quite take the mark. Good defensive punch came from Lockie Wright to force the contest, and it goes out of bounds. Underneath the scoreboard, 35 seconds into this contest, it's Bendigo and the VAFA. No score as of yet.
So Derek Philo, any early signs that you've got your eye on?
No, just a good solid start from both teams here. Hard to pick up anything at this early stage, so...
Austin Dowling doing the ruck inside 50 for the Ammos. Wins it down at the bootlaces. It looks to be tied up. Now they'll get through. Dowling should get on the outside. Turns onto his right boot. Straight up and down the chimney. One-on-one. Numbers favour, though the Bendigo League Reapers involved. And he gets a fist to it that takes the ball out of play in the left forward pocket. Broadcast side of the QEO. Yet to score. We've played a minute. Live 25, local fresh footy. Big cheerio to the Ammos contingent that might be watching this on vafa.com.au as well. So Dowling taking the ruck deep inside 50 for the Ammos. Played a few games for Collingwood VFL this year. Reaper next to him. Dowling over the top with the right mitt. Right at his bootlaces. Strong tackle pressure comes from the Bendigo League. And they'll win the free kick. That looks to be Tardrew there. Or Haddo who wins the ball, and they'll come towards us, Cam.
So Fallon's got it. He handballs with a short to Lockie Wright. Been busy early. Wright sends it in the Harley direction, who comes over the top. Almost took an absolute screamer. Maxtev was underneath the pack and he had him land right on top of him. I think the mark might have paid right in front of us. Not sure he had a lot of it, but it's paid. Hartley will wheel the ball into the middle of the ground. Kick was poor though. Turnover, and it will be marked for the amateurs here with Ligeris. So Ligeris will quickly come in board. It's a low ball. Fallon dives in for Bendigo. Dropped the mark he probably should have taken. Picking it up there, Nichols again. That's Matt Nichols who goes goalwards. It might have cleared everyone, I think. And the first goal of the day is Michael Nichols. Terrific start for the VAFA. Bendigo will be a little bit disappointed not to touch that one though. Score sponsor Bendigo City Flamers. 1 goal VAFA, no score Bendigo. Live 25, local interleague fresh footy. Here's the voice of Derek Philo.
Yeah, Bendigo just got a little bit unlucky there with that bounce. It just went the wrong way on Jack, unfortunately. So, yeah, they'll be keen to respond.
So Mickey Nichols has had a super year for Old Geelong. 23 goals from his 11 games. Formerly of Alexandra out near Seymour, and then Spotswood and the Western Jets. And joined the Ogs after a couple of years out at Deer Park. So he's a journeyman. Career high, season high of 5 earlier this year against Old Carey. As the opener here at the QEO. Bussettle out of Williamstown. CYMS is tracking this one. Clean to Sheridan, and wants Bussettle again by hand. He just spikes it back into the centre of the QEO, and Virtue wins it through by hand. The Ammos work it towards centre half forward. Mickey Nichols comes charging up at it. Tried to find Virtue. Couldn't get his hands around the pill. Now spreads it wide. Up and under kick from Matty Clarkson, son of Alistair. Pays is down there for the Ammos. He's got it at ground level, Bailey Pays. Out of the Old Peninsula Pirates, Bailey! 2 bounces and through. Hot start to the VAFA. Our score sponsor, Don Smallgoods. Is good. 2 straight 12. The Bendigo Footy League yet to score goals through Mickey Nichols and Bailey Pays. Have the Ammos feeling pretty good about themselves. Derek Philo, that's a hot start.
Yeah, Ammos, just look at this stage. They've got a foot speed advantage over us, so we just need to get our hands on the ball and just slow it up a little bit.
Yeah, certainly the winning out of the middle at the moment is certainly a key influence on this game. It's a red-hot midfield that Bendigo's got in there, and they just need to get their hands on the footy a little bit more. It'll be Crisp going up in the ruck. He'll get the hands on it in the Tardru direction. It spills backwards. It'll be sent forward for Bendigo. Inside forward 50 it goes. O'Shaughnessy charged at it. Couldn't quite get it. Bendigo player went streaming through the contest. Might have had his head taken high there. Umpire said no. It was Brock Harvey, the South Bendigo product. Brock Harvey, 30 goals on the season for him. Sharked away for the Ammos. It's taken away by Busselton, who's been busy early. Kick out of defence. Missed its intended target. It'll come back inside from Roberts. Roberts hits up a player. Nice mark on the top of the 50 for Bendigo. Inside forward 50, they'll go through Tommy Strosh. Strosh's kick just didn't quite carry to its intended target, Hartley. The amateurs should be able to work this one out of defence.
So Linehan wants Busselton by hand. He couldn't find him. It skipped over the top. All okay. Virtue for centre half back. And they are out and gone. Mickey Nichols, 70 metres from goal. He's got a long left peg. He's missed though. Out of bounds, in fact, on the skid. And he apologises to Boston Dowling, who was leading for him. That's the one element, I think, of Mickey Nichols' game, which makes him so exciting to watch, but he thinks he can kick a goal from absolutely anywhere, Cam Power. He's already got one.
Do you reckon he just didn't quite judge the breeze a little bit there?
A touch. It is blowing towards us and then down, of course, at the Bendigo City end as it's thrown in beside the behind post. Having it momentarily there was Lockie Wright. He was dispossessed. It's bouncing around. Bockner's lurking. Free kick going the way of the Bendigo League. So they'll take it from left half back, and this kick is coming to Ethan Roberts.
So Roberts takes the mark. It came from Haddo. So Roberts deep in the right-hand defensive pocket here. Goes more central, a little bit dangerous, but it finds Lockie Wright. Lockie Wright wheels it. Kick was very dangerous. Put his teammate under all sorts of pressure, but he was good enough to recover it there was Jaden Burke. Then he coughed up the handball, but it was able to be worked out for Bendigo into the middle of the ground. They'll go. Short handball from Stevens. Now the kick will go inside forward 50. Hartley comes out at it. Just didn't quite get the bounce he was after. Spilling forward. It'll be a flying shot, which will come from Hartley right to the top of the square almost. Player being held will receive a free kick. 15 metres out directly in front, it is Fergus Green, the vice-captain of this side, of course, former ex-AFL player Fergus Green with Hawthorn and the Western Bulldogs, back in the Bendigo League this year. He's only played the 6 games of senior footy this year, Fergus Green. Been out with a broken leg injury suffered early in the year, but he has come back in and played some good footy where he's kicked 18 goals in those 6 games. So Green comes in, 25 out directly in front. Player of his calibre probably should not miss from there. And he kicks truly. So the first goal of the day for Bendigo, and it's Fergus Green. So Bendigo 1 straight, the VAFA 2 straight, 7 minutes gone. Live 25, local fresh interleague footy, score sponsor, Parsons Towings, Castlemaine.
Yeah, important goal. We really needed that just to settle it down a bit because they were on a bit of a run then, the Ammos.
And Cal down at ground level. What are you seeing down there?
Well, I'm not. It's really, really hot, and particularly at the outside runners looking to shift the ball both ways, both for the Ammos and for Bendigo Footy Netball League. It seems to be, as you mentioned, as I mentioned earlier, I should say, the breeze certainly heading to the right of the dials. It'll be interesting to see how Bendigo Footy League intend to slow that down, maybe low more part.
Thanks, Cal Cummins. Busy weekend for you. 2 games of footy called yesterday as part of the Big V centenary year as Ligris should haul this one in across right half back. Takes the mark on his chest. Already had a stack of the footy, Nathan Ligris. Season high, 45 disposals coming last weekend against Williamstown CYMS at the Fearon Reserve. Goes backwards. McGlashan, last line. What can the Ammos conjure? Not a great kick. Not a great kick at all. It's cut down. So now Fergus Green. He'll get him to his right peg. He'll skim the kick towards the top of the goal square. The mark was dropped. Cleaning up McGlashan. Comes towards us. Ligris should track this down on the 50-metre arc.
Disappointed not to hold that mark, but he's able to wheel back inboard. That's a really nice kick inboard for the Ammos. Right in the centre they will go. It comes out to the far wing. Can try and charge forward now. Inboard the kick will come. Mark will be taken here by James Allen. James Allen from Old Camberwell. 6 BNFs there at Old Camberwell. Short pass was okay to Fewings, the vice-captain of this Ammo side. He's got some options inside forward 50. It's a nice kick, and presenting out on a lovely lead and taking a nice mark there will be Boston Dowling. The old Trinity representative, Boston Dowling, has played 3 games for Collingwood's VFL side as well, so a class player with a terrific lead, and the kick was perfect for him, Derek Philo.
Yeah, can't do much about that. We probably needed to work back a little bit to close that leading lane off for him, but yeah, it was a nice kick and good mark as well.
So Boston Dowling, 30 out, directly in front with the breeze at his back. Comes in, It's a nice kick. It looked nice off the boot, but it just swirls across to the right through for a minor score on the right-hand side. So they move to 2-1-13. Bendigo, one straight goal. 9 minutes played in the opening quarter. Score sponsor Jason Westcott Builder on Live 25, local, fresh, interleague footy.
13 playing 6 early stages here. Of course, the Ammo's kicking with a sizable breeze towards the Bendigo City end of the QEO. It is a touch swirly, though, down at that end of the arena. Running towards us is Ethan Roberts. On that left, sits it up into the breeze. One-on-one's in shoe. Sheridan tracks it towards the boundary line. No one touched it. It'll be thrown in front of the Bendigo Footy League bench. Big Jack Sheridan, the number 25 today for the Ammos. He's had a super year for the Ogs. 106 hitouts in his last start against the Caulfield Grammarians. Represented the Ammos last year as well. Here he is taking front spot, trying to find Will Bockmer at ground level. He went without the footy and will tie up Tardrew, who will be eventually brought to the deck by Virtue between wing and half forward for the Ammos.
So it looks like Virtue and Tardrew playing on each other at the moment here. One down, Tardrew's handball, crisp, got it off. Little kick forward came from Brody Haddo, didn't quite find a teammate. Player there.
Friendly fire.
I think it was, didn't quite see who had the footy then, but he ran straight into Michael Hartley. That was Ben Thompson, who got nearly cleaned up by Hartley. Throw up. Chris wins the tap down in the direction of Nichols, though, for the VAFA. Goes backwards to try and go forward. Didn't quite get that outlet handball. Picking up the footy, he'll be Bode Stevens from Strathfield, say. Handball backwards to Antonowitz. Antonowitz's kick was not great, but it's just bouncing around inside, right on the paint of 50 in front of the Ammo's coaching staff bench down there watching on. Luke Mahoney, of course, the coach down there for the amateurs, watching on avidly as his side has an early 7-point lead.
Of course, the former coach of the year when he was at Fitzroy Lacmani, now enjoying, I think, coaching his daughter's teams for local footy. Tardrew at ground level across the 50-metre arc was involved and has a couple of involvements. He's got sharp hands, Lockie Tardrew. Still after this footy, raging through the contest there was Cooper Smith. Goes inside 50, Ablett cuts it down. The West Brunswick rep, the only Div 2 player out there. Nice kick, Buzzertool. Broadcast side wing, Geordie Buzzertool. Onto Essendon VFL lists this year. Super impressive down there. Back-to-back best and fairest winner for Williamstown CYMS. Kicks it long, 2-on-1 though, favouring the Bendigo Footy League. Reaper was one of those. Boston Dowling the one. He did well to hold it up, did Boston, and now lays a tackle on the 50-metre arc, and the umpire calls a stoppage. Sort of 51 metres out from the amateurs' goal, kicking towards the Bendigo City end in this first quarter.
Cooper Jones would be probably a little bit disappointed he didn't hold on to that mark then. Knocked down. They'll handball backwards here. Ben Thompson involved early. Free kick's been pulled for a throw. Bendigo will take the advantage through Tardrew. This is where he's so good. He can clear through the middle. Has a bounce. Will fire the kick into the middle of the ground. Didn't quite find its intended target. Lurking around down there was Antonowitz. Lost it though. Ammos will handball themselves forward. They'll look to go inside again. They've got plenty of space. Kick inside forward 50, just out of the reach of Will Nichols. Still alive though. Didn't get over the boundary line. Bendigo have got numbers to handball their way out of this. It's Cooper Smith, the captain of Sandhurst. His kick was terrific and it finds its way into the hands of Brock Harvey.
So between wing and half back stands Brock Harvey. Darcy Lowry, the man of the mark, who looks to have the rather difficult job on Fergus Green early. I've seen him isolated at full forward. Tardrew, I reckon that's up to 10 touches. We haven't got live stats, but he's putting in a case for a pretty supreme day. Hartley, he's going to go laterally on the wing. Vescovi, now to Gisborne. They'll continue to horseshoe the QEO here. Here's Jaden Burke, and he'll come out nice and wide. Cooper Jones has a paddock goal. The ball went over his head. Tracking him was Fewings. He slipped over on the turf, eventually picked up by Cooper Jones, and it'll work out okay towards right half forward. Here go the Bendigo Footy League. Ethan Roberts inside 50. Where are the leapers? Good numbers for the amateurs, though. Linehan went past the footy. Now has it the Big V skipper. He rumbles away from the contest, ran a long way, and now Ablett will come through the middle of the QEO.
He did. He got it from Bockmer, and his kick was nice. It finds its way onto the chest of a teammate who will run inside forward 50. He can have a shot for goal. It might be Jordan Bussertle, I reckon it was. And he's just put it wide, but you talked about Tardrew having lots of the footy. Bussertle's also getting stacks of it for the Ammos as well. 2-2-14, playing one straight 6. Early stages of this one in the opening quarter on Live 25, local, fresh, interleague footy.
Derek Philo, it does seem that the Ammos are finding a lot of space ahead of the footy.
By the looks of it, I think they're going to beat us for leg speed. So we just need to possess the ball. We're starting to see that a bit now if the boys chipping it around a bit more.
Sunny, windy afternoon at the QEO. Over the top of that contest between wing and half forward for the Ammos was Will Green with the fist, but the Bendigo Footy League have the numbers at ground level. Maxted forces it past halfway. That's a well-weighted kick. And he finds the big boot of Hartley, 60 metres from goal. He sits it towards right half forward. He finds a target, storming into goal, and missing was Brock Harvey. The South Bendigo product let himself down with the finish. He was 20 metres out. Cam Power, he hit the right-hand goalpost. Our score sponsor is Jason Westcott Builder and Aussie Disposals. 7 plays 14, the Ammos ahead by 7 points, Cam.
Might have been a case of having a little bit more time than he thought to go for that one. The kick out of defence. The two Ammo players then spoiled each other. Spilt to ground level. It's turned over. Handball out. Now there's a chance going through there will be Hood for Bendigo. A lot of congestion. The VAFA managed to turn it over and they'll hit the kick into the middle of the ground. It's marked here by Fewings, the vice-captain. So Matt Fewings has it. Slows things down. I thought he was going to go a little bit faster, but he sends it out towards a 2-on-1. Mark bounced off the chest of a teammate there. That was Nichols. He was able to recover Michael Nichols, and then he just blazes away inside forward 50, and it's gone out of bounds on the full underneath the scoreboard, which reads 14 minutes gone, opening quarter. Bendigo 117, VAFA 2-2-14 on Live 25. Local fresh interleague footy on your Sunday afternoon.
Ethan Roberts will bail out the Bendigo Footy League from the back pocket. That is a footy meeting concrete at high speed. It's a decent amount of scarring, you'd imagine. Mickey Nichols is in the contest. His radar, though, not quite on yet. A goal, the first goal of this afternoon, though, to the Ogs number 16, as this one is chopped down by Mickey Nichols. He's 80 metres from goal, left half forward. On that left, drives it inside 50. Buzzertill has two to contend with, and he does well, Geordie Buzzertill. The shortest man in that contest, maybe a legged free kick going the way of the Ammos. Might have been Virtue trying to storm through. In fact, it was Fewings. He was brought down around the ankles, and he'll have a shot 25 metres out directly in front for the Ammos' third, Derek Philo.
Yeah, the Ammos Smalls are creating havoc for us at the moment, so we've got to find a way to slow them down because they're getting plenty of it and being damaging.
So the Premier C best and fairest of last year, Matty Fewings, represented the Ammos at the game at Elstonwick Park last year. 8 games and 3 goals this season. 32.0 disposals, 14.5 contested possessions for the Mazenod product, who is directly in front, shouldn't make a mistake, doesn't. And the Ammos have 3. Fewings joins Pays and Mickey Nichols in the goal kickers column. It's the Ammos 3-2-20. The Bendigo Footy League 117. 16.5 gone on the first term. Our score sponsor is Bendigo City Farmers. Live 25, local fresh footy.
So we'll go back into the middle. What are you seeing down at ground level there, Cal, in that contest?
Well, I'm really liking what the Ammos are doing. When they've got the breeze, they're just trying to go long and long, send it as far as towards the goal square as they can get. I'm also liking what Bendigo are doing in this opening term, as I was touching on earlier in the call, trying to lower the ice and find a low target.
Tarju handballs out of the middle. Tommy Strosh gets involved and sends the kick inside, and it's a terrific one-handed grab by Kobe Maxted. Terrific mark. He was kind of being held, but he was able to pluck the one arm out and take a terrific grab. The Sandhurst product. Played all his juniors through Sandhurst and then stepped into where he won a premiership at his local team last year. Terrific player, does it at both ends of the ground. He's going to be playing a role in the forward line today. Hampered this year with foot injuries. He comes in on the right, starts it left, uses the breeze to perfection, and it comes back. So Kobe Maxted gets Bendigo's second, and we're back to a 7-point ball game. 3-2-20. Playing Bendigo 2-1-13. The score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh interleague footy. Here's the voice of Derek Philo.
Yeah, look, fantastic mark, but the work of Lockie Tarju in the contested issue to win the ball and get it out to someone who could use it effectively is where it started. So Lockie's really the last, 5-7 minutes, just can't stop winning the ball, can he?
So 13 plays 20, 5 goals in 18 minutes of footy. It's been high quality stuff here at the QEO. Green and now Maxted, the goal kickers for the Bendigo Footy League. Back to the middle we go. Having a lot of room there was Hugo McGlashan, so puts it inside 50. Nichols leads back with the flight, what a mark. Super take there from Jaden Burke out of Golden Square. Another one of those Bendigo Footy League players who featured in the loss at Elstonwick Park last season. Reapers down the line to this ball. Vescovi instead, still inside defensive 50 here for the Bendigo Footy League. Vescovi frustrated at the lack of options, will horseshoe at the Bendigo City end of the ground, and now they're just a bit stuck here at Cam Powell. They can't quite find a fluid way out.
Yeah, it's Cooper Jones who's got it back where he started with the ball. Sends it out. Maxted's going to get a fly from behind. Couldn't quite take the mark. Mark's been paid to the player in front there, which was Will Bockma. He quickly plays on, sends it in. Terrific grab inside. Nice kick from Bockma. And the mark has been taken 40 metres out, directly in front almost. And it's a chance here for Hugo McGlashan from Old Trinity. And that'd be a big blow because Bendigo had plenty of the possession there, Derek, but they were just unable to find anything to get themselves out of defence.
Yeah, they just couldn't get that exit option out of there. They chipped it around a little bit, but just couldn't find that final exit kick.
So Hugo McGlashan in the blue boots will come in. He'll kick from about 5 metres in from the paint of 50, almost directly in front. And he uses it nicely. Goal umpire does not move. So the VAFA get another goal here. And very similar to last year, they get the jump on Bendigo. They have now got 4-2-26, playing 2-1-13 in favour of the Amos. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder. Live 25, local fresh interleague footy from Bendigo's Queen Elizabeth Oval.
So 13 points the margin. Again, so 6 goals before into time on. So it's been a wonderful exhibition of interleague footy so far.
High standard quality too.
Yeah, high scoring, fluid, end-to-end footy. A pleasure to call as well. Dispossessed there is Stevens holding the footy and the advantage taken by Riley Virtue. The Beau Morris product goes deep inside 50. Nichols from 3 deep, flying fist. Cut down by Vescovi in front of him, and Gisborne's finest goes out to right half-back flank, and they'll move it off the paint of the numbers. Roberts goes over the top. Next in the chain, it should be Stevens. Oh, it just carried him, but luckily he had a man over the top, Stevens. And just again, the Bendigo Footy League camp just opting to calm it down through right half back.
Yeah, Cooper Jones has got the ball there. He'll wheel it up towards centre half forward. Wanting a big fly. Coming from behind was young Jacko Shaughnessy, who was taken out of the under-19s team earlier in the week to play today. They'll paddle it forward, Bendigo. Picked up for the Amos. Dropping the footy in the tackle there was Ligoris. And he's been pinned holding the ball. Terrific tackling from Bendigo. The ball movement's been fast and fluid, but the tackling's also been of note as well in this game so far, Derek. It's Jacko Shaughnessy that's going to get the free kick. He's 50 metres out, directly in front, but it will be a tough kick into the breeze here at the Barnard Street end of the ground.
Yeah, it was a good tackle in the end. The guy probably should have held it in, and but we get the free kick, so hopefully we can put this one through.
So O'Shaughnessy of Eagle Hawk, he's kicked 27 goals on the season for Eagle Hawk. Kick short, a mark taken in the goal square, and it's Kobe Maxted again. People that listen to our coverage regularly would know how much of a fan I am of Kobe Maxted. He's a terrific player, and he'll kick his second goal in the opening quarter. And he is just starting to hit his straps in season 2025. He's got 2. Bendigo have got 3. They're 3-1-19. The VAFA 4-2-26. It's a 7-point ball game. Late stages of the opening quarter. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposals. Live 25, local fresh, interleague footy.
I really like Kobe Maxted. Sorry to jump in there. It's the first time I've watched him play Cam Power. He seems to have read the wind superbly. It was the kick from the left half forward flank where he managed to balance the breadth of the thing really well, and then he read that kick into goal so well off the boot of O'Shaughnessy, first to the drop of the footy.
Kobe played a massive role in Sandhurst Premiership last year, and the ability that he can do it at both ends of the ground is what makes him such a good player. 2 goals in last year's contest, 2 goals before quarter time, so doesn't mind the representative stuff, does Kobe. That ball goes past Jack Fallon in the middle of the QEO. It's by hand, they're going to try and work it out. Fewings paddles it to his own advantage, just ended up throwing it out in the direction of McGlashan. And it'll be Sheridan who hacks it in the direction of Dowling inside 50. Boston Dowling takes it in one hand, turns onto the right foot. He did the work at ground level well. The snap, though, the bend was too acute, and he misses to the left-hand side. 4-3-27, the Amos. 3-1-19, the Bendigo Footy League. Our score sponsor is Bendigo City Framers. Live 25, local fresh footy. Cooper Jones does the kick in, goes short, and he finds Vescovi. Underneath the scoreboard is Zach Vescovi. Short pass. Barely the 15 metres, but it's paid. Far wing for Bendigo, looking to try and get something presenting him up here at him is Brody Haddo. Eventually forces to dump it down the line, pull side wing. Big fly, Tarju got to the front, but it spills to the front where they've got the numbers. And it's another possession for Busselton, who was cleaned up, and he's going to receive the free kick. He'll send it inside. It was Jack Fallon, the offender there. He plays on, wheels around onto the right, will go right to the line. It might be a terrific goal from Busselton. Well, Busselton is having a magnificent game, and he is off to a flyer. The VAFA have got another one. and they are starting to get themselves rolling. The way they send the ball inside forward 50, Derek Philo, is very nice. 5-3-33, Bendigo 3-1-19, 24 gone, opening quarter. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers.
Yeah, their ball movement's been pretty good, and if we give them space and a bit of time, they're going to run riot. So we just probably need to tidy that part up.
So Geordie Busuttil, such a super season for Williamstown CYMS in 2025. A two-time best and fairest. He was the Premier B Team of the Year rover. He's got a goal in representative footy. Tardru with the clearance, Ligorous with the intercepting mark under the pressure of Rosengren at centre-half back, and here come the Ammos again. Nichols is on a long lead. He wants the bounce. It didn't come his way. Storming up and taking it neatly. There was Horsfall. It was tackled out of his grasp. Now tackling is Cooper Smith across half-back for the Bendigo Footy League. They'll be happy for the safety of the boundary. On the swimming pool wing, they'll get it. It'll be thrown in between wing and half-forward for the Ammos. 3-1-19, the Bendigo Footy League. 5-3-33, the VAFA. 24.5 gone in the first.
Good conditions for footy here, though. It was predicted rain early in the week, but they're certainly not getting that today. Healthy crowd in attendance as well. Showcasing two top leagues of footy. Ben Thompson tracks the ball back for Bendigo. Couldn't quite take it. It's just smashed forward. Trying to track after it here. The Ammos tackle from it was good. It's picked up and fired goalward from Will Nichols. And I think he's managed to find a way through. Will Nichols slots the goal. Something out of nothing from the VAFA. They've got 6-3-39. Bendigo 3-1-19. And it's all of a sudden it's blown out to a three-goal ball game here. Score sponsor Passes Towings, Live 25 local fresh interleague footy. Here's the voice of Derek Philo.
Yeah, look, Ammos really do deserve the lead at the moment. They're getting plenty of the ball forward. So from a Bendigo point of view, I think that we just need to slow things down, play the rest of the quarter out, and just don't concede anymore.
Cal, down at ground level, is it just a case of there being a strong breeze at 3 or 4 goals is really what the difference is at the moment?
Yeah, as I said, you mentioned there, the 3 to 4 goal breeze is certainly what's shaping up at the moment. But I'm loving the efficiency of Bendigo Footy League as they go forward again.
So 6 individual goal kickers now for the Ammos as Smith comes through centre half forward. Couldn't keep the footy with him. Rosengren handballs over the top. Smith will go again. Turns onto his right boot. He gets a kick that might tumble through. 1-on-1 right in the goal square. The Ammos defending desperately. They'll fall atop the footy. It's pushed towards the boundary line to hold. Which way is it going? It's going the way of looks to be Linehan, the skipper of the Big V, in the right back pocket. They'll get bailed out now, the Ammos. Linehan, you'd think he's a long down the line operator, Cal. That's where he's going, Cam, rather.
And he does, straight down the line. The kick just carries over the back. Fallon jumped up, couldn't quite mark it, but he had teammates at the back. Short pass was turned over again. Busuttil is having a magnificent start to this game. Found a way through, got a handball out. Now it comes across to Masakis. Masakis will hit the far wing. So they're on the poolside wing, but the way that they are moving the ball so fast, the Ammos, they're just wanting to fire it inside. Riley Virtue flied, stayed down at ground level, gave the handball off to Fewings. Fewings will go goalwards and slot another one. This is brilliant footy to watch from the Ammos. 7 goals, 3-45. They've kicked 5 in a row. Bendigo 3-1-19. Score sponsor Parsons Towing, Castlemaine. Live 25, local fresh interleague footy, and the Ammos are flying late in the opening quarter. Derek Philo.
Yeah, they are, and they're sort of feeding off any skill errors that we're making at the moment. I think off half forward we had a chance at a good deep entry, but we turned it over, and it was the way they're moving the ball. They're having a shot on goal 10 seconds later, so...
It's just quick over the top stuff, Derek, and it's all their mids that have got on the scoreboard. Fewings with a couple, Busuttil, Will Nichols, McGlashan. Only recognised forwards that have kicked goals. Mickey Nichols and Bailey Pays, the first 2 of the game. Bendigo Footy League come commentary side. Harvey uncontested mark, neutral territory, centre wing. He's eyeing the boundary line, Harvey. Nothing's really popping up for him, so he'll opt for the little lateral kick. That will work out okay to Cooper Jones. He will go into the centre of the QEO. That kick hasn't travelled the required, so Jones will get it back. And on the left, drives it into the breeze. In truth, it really dropped short off the bootlaces and into the hands of Tardru, who fed it to Smith. He'll go back in the Tardru direction. He's got 2 Ammos players for company. He's dispossessed, and at ground level they might come away with it, although it slipped through the hands there of Jackson Hill. It'll be locked beneath the pack, and the umpire picks out a holding the ball free kick. It'll go the way of the Ammos.
So it's like he was just dropped straight onto it. Again, the Ammos has been the case. They're just wanting to get and go forward. They send it in the Thomas Wilson direction. Or was it against Tom Wilson here? Might have been against. So the free kick to Bendigo, which will not matter across half back. But that is quarter time. The Bendigo Football Netball League stunned by a 10-minute onslaught late in that quarter. 7-3-45 to Amos. Bendigo 3-1-19. Quarter time on Live 25 Local Fresh Interleague Footy.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Keyser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas, they design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Keyser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Keyser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
It's the Bendigo Football Netball League top 5 for round 11. Kicking us off at number 1, Joel Buderick here from Eagle Hawk. This is a brilliant goal, this. Get off me on that one. Another one he gets through and then just guides it all the way home. Look at that on the replay. That is Class E. Number 2, the brilliant effort this. Working his way through traffic. The right-footed snap, sending it straight home. Number 3, Harrison Burke here from Golden Square. Had to think quick. He got it in the pack and got it on the boot and put it through. A brilliant goal. Number 4, a double feature here. Harrison Burke again from Golden Square. Another example of thinking quick. He's just lightning in front of goal. How good was that? Number 5, Kaylin Huntley from Castlemaine. We love it when the midfielders break away like this. Then he goes bang! That was from about 65 out. Bounces in the square and all the way home. A brilliant goal, Kaylin.
Garsed Street, Bendigo, on the corner of Arthur Street. Got the picture?
Doing it for our community. Local first. Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Second quarter sponsored by Lauke Flour Mills. Thanks to local footy sponsor, more live Bendigo football. And now it's time to fire up delicious Don Footy Franks. They're made for the footy. Is Don, is good.
Live 25, local fresh, interleague footy. Bendigo taking on the Victorian Amateur Football Association. It is quarter time. Bendigo 3-1-19. The Amos 7-3-45. Myself, Cam Power, Paddy Grinley, bringing you the play-by-play. Derek Philo in special comments. Cal Cummins and the goal kickers in this game so far, it is 2 goals to Matt Fewings, the vice-captain for the VAFA, Bailey Pays, Will Nichols, Jordan Bussettle, Hugo McGlashan and Michael Nichols for Bendigo. 2 goals to Kobe Maxted off the back of 2 terrific grabs and Fergus Green. So all Sandhurst representatives kicking goals for Bendigo so far in this game. On the Bendigo Footy League, we've got Derek Philo here in special comments. Who have you liked from a Bendigo point of view in terms of their better players so far?
Yeah, well, I reckon Lockie Tarju's been in the thick of everything. He's worked really hard and he's probably been our best player. I reckon down forward, Kobe Maxted, he's done some nice things and obviously hit the scoreboard a couple of times. In defence, Jaden Burke, I thought's taken a couple of really good marks to stem the flow, and I think even though they've kicked 7, it could have been worse if the backs hadn't have stood up. So yeah, it'll be test this quarter to see how strong that breeze is, because I think we do have some dangerous forwards there.
Yeah, we certainly do have some dangerous options when we go inside forward 50, and there's none better than Fergus Green down there as well. So if they can get the ball into him with this breeze as well, could make a huge difference. Paddy, you've been looking at some of the better players so far for the Ammos. Who have you picked out? I reckon Jordan Bussettsall would have to be the best one on the ground so far.
No, you can't go past the goal-kicking mids, Cam. Bussettsall was a goal. Matt Fewings, I thought, has been superb so far. 2 goals for him for the Mazarov product, and he's doing a really good job at winning the ball on the inside and then raging forward and providing a handle option.
Just
John
at ground
Hunter
level.
Down at ground level with Simon Rosa.
Simon Rosa, thanks for joining us. Tough conditions with the wind. What was the message there at quarter time?
Bit breezy, yeah. We've just got to be a little bit smarter, I feel. We're winning the contested ball and winning the clearances, but they're beating us on the outside. So I think our spread's got to be a lot better to sort of minimise their run. Obviously, a strong breeze, we probably want to play just the way they did then and surge the footy forward. We just don't want to get caught blazing away and kicking long points, so hit up our forwards.
Thanks, Simon, and all the best for the rest of the game.
So Simon Rosa, the coach of the Bendigo Footy League down there at ground level with John Hunter. Johnny, what are you thinking of the conditions down there at the moment? Obviously a big touch on that breeze. Do you reckon that Bendigo can really get the ball going and score those 4 goals late like the VAFA did with this breeze?
I think so, Cameron, and you don't get an appreciation of how strong it is until you actually get out here. So I think the message would, if I was still playing the game, which was a long time ago, I'd just look really deep and really long and give our forwards every chance by bombing in there, really.
And Cal Cummins, have you been down in the VAFA huddle at all at quarter time?
Yes, I just had a little listen into their quarter time address from Luke Marnie. The key takeaway is I had a little look at the stats sheet that they were putting up at during the main break. They had themselves +7 for inside 50s, also +8 for tackles. Typically those sort of 2 stats don't go hand in hand, so that's where they're really winning the ball at the coalface.
Wonderful stuff there from Cal Cummins. 4th game of the weekend for Cal, so he was having himself a nice little sleep in, I think, on Monday morning. Big quarter this for Cal Linehan for the Ammos, because he's going to be the one who'll be standing Michael Hartley in the goal square at the Bendigo City end of the ground, which will be favoured by the breeze. So that Ammos defence, which is used to playing in windy conditions, will be tested this quarter by those quick Bendigo midfielders and the likes of Fergus Green and Michael Hartley up front, who have looked dangerous so far. Kobe Maxted also with a couple of goals so far in this one in the first quarter. 3-1-19, the Bendigo Footy League. The VAFA 7-3-45. It's a 26-point advantage. But as we know, gentlemen, it was a similar kind of game of footy at Elstonwick Park this time last year, where the Ammos got started hot and the Bendigo Footy League came roaring back into the contest. This is the voice of Cam Power.
So the wind's certainly playing a factor in this one. Let's see if Bendigo can use that to their advantage in this quarter. Ball goes up in the ruck. It was Sheridan that got first hands to it. Spills to ground level. A lot of players congested around this footy, which we didn't see a lot of stoppage and congested in that opening quarter. It'll be interesting to see if the game continues to flow in this quarter or not. Knocked down by Chris, but it was picked up and then tried to send forward there by McGlashan. Somehow found a way through. Bouncing around half-back, was turning it over Cooper Smith. Smith's handball was good. They sent it up towards O'Shannessy. It bounced off his ankles, and it ended up being a mark to McGlashan in the middle of the ground. He quickly plays on. I'm not sure he thought it was a mark, but it was. They'll clear it out, but they turn it over. Bendigo can come back in board. Cooper Jones uses Cooper Smith, so a couple of Coopers combined.
Might be a little downfield, I reckon.
Free kick, I reckon it might have been a downfield contact, and it's going to be taken for Bendigo as Callum Crispert has possession of the footy.
So the Rucky's got his hands full with Jack Sheridan and Boston Dowling today. Max Ted direction, 2 hands to it. Over the top though, O'Shannessy, the young fella, wasn't paid the mark and then just tried to throw it out. The umpire said play on.
He did throw it out.
The Ammos tried to push it through. Ablett's involved. The umpire's a lot closer than us, we must say, as this kick is hacked towards Fewings, swimming pool wing of QEO, and Fewings takes it nicely, snaps around the body. It'll bounce for Sheridan a little bit further than him and into the hands of Jackson Hill, and the Ammos go inside 50. It's a 1-on-1 deep. Paisley's tracking it. Jeezy's exciting. Bailey Paisley's caught behind though on this occasion. Winning the battle is Roberts. It's out of play in the right forward pocket. So Bailey Paisley, who's had a supreme season for the old Peninsula Pirates, of course. The Ammos' rising star a couple of years ago, the grandson of Travis Pais, who was a St Kilda Premiership player in 1966.
What a name, the Peninsula Pirates. I like it. We need to get some Pirates down here in Bendigo footy, I reckon.
Not too many open bodies of water, unfortunately, to put your boat in.
We'll go to a repeat ball up inside forward 50 here. No Reaper going up in the ruck, knocked it down. It was the opposite 22, James Allen, that took possession of the ball. A little scraggle kick out of there was turned over. Cooper Jones has been busy for Bendigo. Found his way into the hands of Wright. They'll then try and get there. His second effort was really good, though, from Lockie Hood. Hood picks it up, goes backwards. Now they'll send it down the line. Kicks doesn't got any distance on it to get to where its intended target. Intercept mark for the Ammos. They'll chip it further forward. In the hands again of that man, Hugo McGlashan, who's 80 metres out from goal. He'll send it inside forward 50. Oh. Big fly. Mark not quite taken by Hilly. It then spills out, and it's a little kick off the side of the boot for the Ammos. Intercept mark will be taken by Lockie Hood, who might have just dropped it at the all-important second. They'll come in board to Haddo. Haddo sold some candy. Now they can move the ball nicely, Bendigo. It finds its way into the hands of Bode Stevens. He's just coughed it up. Took a little bit too long. Ammos turn it over. It follows its way to Busuttil, who'll find the short handball. Inside forward 50, Nichols. High kick to the top of the goal square for the one-on-one contest. Knocked away. Down in defence there was Vescovi. Bendigo can try and clear through Jack Fallon.
Oh, it's end-to-end stuff. Benny Ablett in the middle of the ground was enormous for the Ammos, but the opportunity dissipated, and now Brock Harvey at right half-back, 60 metres from his own defensive goal square, says, let's calm it down a little bit. End-to-end stuff and through the corridor. It's been great footy to watch. That's a nice kick. Into the hands now of Hood. And Lockie Hood out of Sandhurst, formerly of the Grovedale Tigers and the Geelong Falcons, finds Tardrew, his co-skipper. 11 games, so every game, and 9 goals for Lockie, who was very busy indeed on that first term. Up and under kick, it'll just go inside 50. 2-on-2 situation. Linehan was pushed underneath the footy. Sheridan will clean up for the Ammos. Ablett dodges to the inside, breaks the tackle, handball over the top. Ligris has runners to the inside. Ablett might end up with it again. Over the shoulder maybe of Clarkson. Here's Ablett at right half back to Busuttil, who's cleaned up. He is collared. Jack Fallon let him know about it. Free kick to the Williamstown product, who's back to his feet. And his eyes are darting laterally between wing and half-back commentary side.
I'm not sure what Jack Fallon was shaking his head at there. It was a pretty clear high tackle. So Busuttil will get it. He's given away a couple of free kicks now as Fallon. It probably should have been a free kick there to Tom Strosh, who had his arms chopped. Umpire called advantage. Reaper gets the ball off the kick that's sent inside forward 50. He's able to compose himself and steady the short pass to Lockie Hood. So Hood across half-back for Bendigo. Tom Strosh presents up at the footy. Hood goes even shorter. Now Jack Fallon gets it, wants to quickly move. He'll just launch one straight down the middle of the ground. Kick goes to a one-on-one contest. The one-on-one was won down by Darcy Laurie. Laurie's handball out of there, missed its target. Green will get it. He'll go looking for his Sandhurst teammate Maxted. Kick was poor, but then a kick that came back to him was even poorer. So Fergus Green floats in front and takes the intercept mark.
Could have a shot here, Fergus Green.
55 out from goal, about 10 metres into the boundary, not liking anything here. He might be just thinking that. Then he pulls the kick magnificently to Michael Hartley. The vision of Fergus Green and the way he just sold that was absolutely fantastic. We thought for sure, Derek, he was loading that to the top of the goal square, and at the last second, he just pinpointed Michael Hartley.
Yeah, smart. He waited for the right option, and hopefully Hearts can kick this one for us.
So the coach of Castlemaine, from 40 metres out directly in front, and he celebrates it. Michael Hartley goals for Bendigo, the all-important first goal of the second quarter, and it is Michael Hartley. So Bendigo get their 4th goal of the game. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, Live 25 local fresh footy. Bendigo 4-1-25, the VAFA 7-3, 45, 6 minutes gone. In the second quarter, here's Derek Philo.
Yes, hopefully we can now get some play going. I think we just need to be a bit braver with the ball. We're winning plenty of it, but we're just going wide and staying wide. So where you see the Ammos, every opportunity they get, they'll go into the corridor.
So for the Bendigo Footy League faithful, Green, Hartley and Maxted all into this game of footy with goals. So that's the way you want to be playing. You'd like a few more than 4 though. So first goal at the 5-minute mark of this second term. Back to the middle we go. Sheridan doing the right work. Busuttil is pushed off the footy by his opposite number in Tardrew, who picked it up and then handballed it over the top. Raging inside 50 is Ben Thompson. He's got a long shoe on him. This will bounce, it'll pitch, it'll stop. And Linehan palms it through for a rush behind. Didn't get the shooter's roll, as it were, did Thompson. 4-2-26, the Bendigo Footy League. 7-3-45, the VAFA, our score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers. Live 25 local fresh footy.
So Clarkson will bring the ball back into play. Matthew Clarkson runs his distance and sends the kick out in the direction of Jack Sheridan. Couldn't quite take the mark. Knocked to ground by Ben Thompson. Ammos have got the options out wide. Boston Dowling got into some space, but he got a little bit of an awkward bounce, which invited Bendigo back into the contest. Chris handball inboard to Fallon, who was pounced upon straight away. We'll have a baller. 80 out from goal. Bendigo in attack, looking to utilise the breeze in this second quarter. Sheridan versus Crisp. Crisp got the hand down. Tarju in there for Bendigo, couldn't get it. And on the bottom of that pack there will be Bussettle. We'll try for one more time to try and clear this one out. Sheridan and Crisp. Caught a dead heat in the ruck. Spills back in their direction. Ben Thompson gets it. Handball's out. Now a chance here for Haddo. Kick just turned over at centre half forward. Amos can release an outlet handball here through Matthew Clarkson.
So Clarkson back inside defensive 50. All dangerous times. Horsfall slipped over. They're working it out through hand. They're mucking around with it a touch. Sheridan, though, was clean and fed Horsfall, who puts it into the centre of the QEO. All this by hand. It's frenetic stuff, and eventually intercepting the Bendigo Footy League. It's a hot second quarter of footy. Maxted hands it through. Tardrew, centre half forward, go the Bendigo Footy League. Now on goal, a flying shot, O'Shaughnessy. He misses to the left-hand side. 27 playing 45, Derek Philo. The amateurs just mucking around a little bit with it by hand through centre half back.
Yeah, probably, but I think that's their game, so there is an element of risk to it. But at the moment, it's working for them.
Probably only one handball from really breaking that out and getting an absolute breakdown there, though. Brought in from the defence, the kick flying in, taking this nice mark there was Ned Nichols from Old Melburnians. Handballs off to a teammate. They'll wheel the kick out right up against the boundary line. Oh, no mark taken. Spills down to ground level there. And Matasakis will be taken over the boundary line. Lucky Wright getting involved for Bendigo. Centre wing position right in front of well, before the game it looked like a very heavily packed grandstand. I can imagine it's still the same. It's a nice crowd in attendance. Pretty good conditions for football here. Crisp lost out in the ruck contest and it'll be knocked over the boundary line. Jeez, the way Bussettle covers the ground is just super impressive to look at, Paddy.
Yeah, he's a super player, Geordie Bussettle. He's not played that much for Williamstown CYMS this season because of his commitments with Essendon VFL, but he's always down there at the Firen helping out the younger midfielders in the blue and gold, which is great to see and appreciated by their coach Contazoglu, who is in attendance today. Ligorous, half-back, gets through one tackle, not the second. It's tapped forward by Harvey. In tight it is, dropping the footy. Play onto the umpire, McGlashan, and now pirouetting out of play, the Bendigo Footy League. We've got a jumper change, the number 5 getting a workout. Right beneath us, Bendigo bench between wing and half forward for the blue and gold. 27 plays 45, 18 points the margin at quarter time. It was a 26-point VAFA lead, though the Bendigo Footy League kicking with that breeze blowing towards the Bendigo City end of the QEO.
I think that was Matt Merritt, who was originally listed in the number 3 jumper.
Merritt in the number 5 today for the Bendigo Footy League. Thompson couldn't pick it up at his bootlaces. McGlashan comes storming through, kicks it down this wing. Clevercamp of the Old Peninsula Pirates flies and then does the ground level work well. Big tackle, it'll be thrown up between wing and half forward for the Amos.
Caught me out a little bit in the first quarter there as well. Matt Merritt, seen him play last week for Gisborne. Had a terrific game and kicked an all-important goal late in that game. Secure a big win against Eagle Hawk. Bouncing around here. Amos will try and find some space through. They'll send it deep inside forward 50 there. The kick came from Fewings and the mark has been taken. It was a hard lead out and a terrific grab taken right on the boundary. But it'd take a really tough kick from here. And I reckon it might be Bailey Pays down there who will line up for goal. With this breeze going across, it'll take a big effort here. He's 5 metres in from the boundary, 20 metres out from goal. Left-hand forward pocket, the old South Bendigo social rooms pocket. Pays starts at left, and it looked like off the boot it was going to come back nicely, but it did not. Through for a minus score on that left-hand side. 7-4-46, playing 4-3-27. It's a 19-point lead to the VAFA halfway through the second quarter on Live 25 Local Fresh Interleague Footy.
Kick inside 50 from Fewings to Bailey Pays was so well done. Into the breeze, balanced it into the pocket, and Pays just couldn't finish the job. So it'll be the long left boot of Ethan Roberts. That kick's gone about 80 metres down the swimming pool ring. He's got a massive shoe on him, and as a result, the Bendigo Footy League comes storming through the middle, and Fergus Green is by himself. He marks. Some late treatment coming from Darcy Lowry.
Maybe a bit stiff not to get a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, Kobe Maxted's just coming over to check on his vice-captain, and a little bit of feedback from Caden and Tonowicks as well for Lowry. All's well that ends well. Fergus Green will take his kick 35 metres out, left forward pocket to cut the lead to just 13 points. He just covered the entire distance of the QEO in 2 kicks. It was wonderful stuff there, Derek Philo.
Yeah, 2 beautiful kicks, and that last kick to Fergus was beautifully weighted. So when we've got the forwards down there, if we can get it to them quickly, one-on-one, we're a big chance.
So Fergus Green, chance for his second of the day. Right footer, it'll suit the angle. That looks a little bit wide. In the end, it's just lucky to sneak in for a minor score. Not what we're used to seeing from Fergus Green. 4-4-28 for the Bendigo Footy League. 7-4-46 the VAFA score sponsor. Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Living life dangerously, going straight down the middle there, but it finds James Allen. I thought it was going to go over his head with the breeze, but he was strong above his head. Allen, handball's back to where it came, and then they'll try and clear the kick out. But again, it just sits perfectly, and it's taken by Riley Virtue. Virtue hits the centre, and now they're away. Comes to Bockma. Bockma handballs to the runner, and it was Matthew Clarkson was not aware of his surroundings, and he got run down. Bendigo take the advantage, fire it inside forward 50. Hartley stayed on his feet, went for the grab, just dropped it at the important second. That was a terrific tackle on Clarkson, and Bendigo are able to pounce. They'll force themselves a stoppage inside forward 50. Sheridan in the ruck against Hartley, call it a dead heat. Ben Thompson goes in for Bendigo, couldn't quite get it, firing out there. And there's a big pack of players around this footy, and we'll have a repeat ball up. Ned Nichols in there for the Ammos. Hartley might have knocked that into Sheridan's hands then, trying to emerge with the footy and not able to find a way through. Ben Thompson, who's well known for his in and under, and that is exactly what he's doing today. 50 out from goal for Bendigo. Umpire Carter throws the ball up in the air. Hartley tried to smash it forward, but it's turned over to Virtue. Virtue's kick was partially smothered, and it just goes back into the congestion, and she's going to scrap away for the last 45 seconds here, Paddy.
Eagle Hawk lifer is Ben Thompson. Did I see he broke the 50 disposal barrier last year?
Yeah, there was one game when he did. I don't know who that was against, but it definitely did happen.
Absolute ball magnet. Sheridan wins the hit out across the defensive 50-metre arc, and they'll all fall atop the Sheridan. And I feel, Derek Philo, that the Ammos have really focused on trying to keep this quarter tight as they're kicking into the wind.
Yeah. They'll still take risks if they think it's on, but yeah, you can see they've just become a little bit more defensive-minded with kicking against the breeze.
Bockman wins a free kick as a Bendigo midfielder threw the ball and then worked it into the middle of the QEO. McGlashan and now Ablett. He's got some space in the Sunshine broadcast side. They'll move it up methodically next in the chain on the chest of Will Nichols, the vice-skipper of the VAFA today. Tried to dodge to the inside, got nothing there, so kicked it long inside 50. Clever Camp front spot. It's marked over the top of his head though. Pulled down by Ethan Roberts, who's having himself a game out of full pack Camp Power.
Yeah, terrific play. He's been a kangaroo flat lifer all the way through, and he's getting his just rewards. His kick was nice as well. Hartley gets it, sends it inside forward 50. Does it sit for Green? It doesn't, but Bendigo can pounce the numbers at ground level. Picked up, they'll go backwards here through Rosengren. Now they go even further backwards. Lockie Hood's got it. He'll then step around. He'll send it inside forward 50. And needs someone to fly it. Spills out the back. It might be a chance for Maxted, who's lurking out the back. He kicks his third goal. Kobe Maxted's got 3. Bendigo have got their 5th, and it's back to a 2-goal ball game. 5-4-34. Plays 7-4-46. Just 12 points the margin. On Live 25 local fresh footy, the score sponsor, Aussie Disposals.
Read that beautifully, didn't he? Snuck in, so yeah, he's been really good today. 3 goals, and I think we do if we've got some really good forwards down there in Hartley and Fergus, and obviously Kobe's kicked 3, so we just got to give him the supply.
So that Kobe Maxted, his season high was 4 goals in round 10 against Sandhurst. He's got 3 before half time in a rep game, so that might be a big day for Kobe. So he's got a hat-trick. Buzzertool from the centre of the QEO just came storming through. The kick was short to his teammate Bockman at Williamstown CYMS. Back to Buzzertool. The kick low to the top of the square. Bounced, and at ground level Will Nichols is after it. Buzzertool waits on the outside. His 3rd involvement. Handball on the top to Mickey Nichols on the left. He tried the sort of running check side. He didn't hit it as he'd desire. It's intercepted by Lockie right in the right back pocket for Bendigo.
So Wright has it for Bendigo here. He'll then just go with a kick straight down the middle. It's a rather dangerous looking kick, but it was worked by Callum Crisp, who takes the mark. Now he's got the runner out wide. That's a magnificent kick, and he's got Cooper Jones. Jones has got space. He gets and goes. Sends it up towards the forward 50. Just didn't quite find its intended target there. That was Caden Antonowitz, and haven't seen too much of Caden Antonowitz so far today. He's kicked 32 goals this year for South Bendigo. Expecting him to pop up inside forward 50 at some stage today. Class player, White Hills Premiership player last year before moving back to South Bendigo. Inside, good contest there. Charging at the footy was Ligorous, and he was met in a strong tackle. Might have been Antonowitz that actually laid that tackle, speaking of the man himself. So we'll get a ball up. Hartley doing all the ruck work inside forward 50 for Bendigo, and he's given away. No, he's going to receive the free kick. So I thought it might have been against Hartley, the way his reaction to it, but it's one of those ruck lotto ones, as they call it nowadays, and it's going to go the way of Bendigo. So Hartley will line up. He's already got one this afternoon. He doesn't muck around with his set shot approach, either does Michael Hartley. He quickly gets the ball, he comes in 30 metres out, not too much of an angle to deal with, and he puts it across the face to the right-hand side. So minor score, 5-5-35, playing 7-4-46, 18 minutes gone in the second quarter. Score sponsor passes Towings and Castlemaine.
Yeah, I think Bendigo's really working their way back into the game here, so some real positive signs.
Ligorous to Linehan in the left back pocket, and the Beaumaris Shark goes long down the line. It skips the pack. Merritt was the Bendigo player, over his hands and out in front of the Bendigo bench between wing and half forward for the blue and gold. 35 plays 46. We had, by this point in the first term, gentlemen, we had 6 goals. We've had just 2 in this second term. So it's tightened up a touch. Dowling into the ruck for the Ammos. Buzzertle at ground level. He's got leather poisoning. Feeds it sideways. Ligorous by hand. Ablett launches off centre half back. Into the middle of the ground and Bockma. He marks and plays on towards centre half forward. Clevercamp on a long lead. It pitched in front of him. Right with him now. Lockie Wright does well. Clevercamp did better. Handballed it inside 50. Nichols. Handballs it over his head. Fewings couldn't pick it up. The Bendigo defence adjusts. Bockma's around the place. The blue and gold emerge momentarily through left half back.
That they do. They'll clear the high ball out of defence, and it's going to sit. Wright was able to get it, but he handballed it straight to his opposing teammate. But he's able to follow up with the secondary tackle and make it just after a little bit of a disappointing handball. We'll have a ball up far side of the ground. How's the crowd looking down there, Cal? Pretty packed in the grandstand?
Primarily of Bendigo Footy and Netball League supporters, but every time that they give themselves a chance at goal, you can certainly hear them down here at ground level. One thing I did want to point out as well, particularly in that sort of, it was a 5 or 10 minute patch there where Bendigo kicked a couple of goals, is because they were getting the long entries from the launch zone to the top of the goal square. That was giving them best chance at putting through some majors.
Thanks to Cal down there on ground level. Cal Cummins from the Victorian Amateur Football Association. Tarju's handball backwards. They'll come in board to Ben Thompson. Ben Thompson will give the handball off to Vescovi. Vescovi's kick out, mark not taken, but it clears over the back. O'Shaughnessy charges out to it, couldn't quite get it, but he paddled it forward. And now the Ammos can turn it over, though. It's with Manasakis. Manasakis goes backwards, picked up by Ned Nichols. Nichols will send it inside forward 50. Big fly, not quite taken. And it would have been a terrific grab down there. Might have been Jackson Hilly that flew for it. He certainly got up off the ground, just couldn't quite complete the clunk, and we'll have an out of bounds boundary throw in just inside the forward 50 for the Ammos, going towards the Barnard straight into the ground.
Yeah, he's probably one that'd like to work into the game a bit more, the Ammos. Jackson Hill out of Ormond in Division 1. He's had a few leaps at the footy, the long-haired operator, but hasn't pulled one down so far. Dowling, extended stint in the ruck, forward half for the Ammos. It's the Bendigo Footy League that emerged with the footy, and they'll go past halfway. There are 2 players ahead of this football. Picking it up and escaping from the tackle was Antonowitz. He puts it inside, 52nd attempt. Hartley, man on the mark is Linehan at 48 metres. Hartley has the leg, he's not going to use it. He goes short, lowers the eyes. Brock Harvey leads up, and he'll have a shot from 40 metres out, slight angle, to cut this margin to 5 points.
Hartley, Mark, he just kind of got up like a basketball player and tapped it down to himself. It was quite impressive. Very nice bit of skill there.
No, it was a really good bit of footy there. Started with Antonowitz off to Michael Hartley, and now Brock's having a shot on goal. So
1 goal in the corresponding game last year at Elstonwick Park. A haul of 7 in round 7 against Kangaroo Flat. For the South Bendigo product, 30 goals on the season. He's played every game so far this year, Brock Harvey. Slide angle, 40 metre drop punt. Brock, yes! And it's a 5-point ball game, 6-5-41. The Bendigo Footy League, 7-4-46. The VAFA, our score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder, Live 25, local fresh footy.
No, we've really got ourselves back into the game here, and I reckon the back line has worked really hard, because it has been probably down there a fair bit this quarter, so not to concede too much of a scoreline's a good job, which has allowed us to stay in the game.
Looks like maybe the Ammos might be just overusing the footy a little bit in these windy conditions at the moment, coming out of defence. Bendigo looking to go a little bit more long and direct, as Cal mentioned before. Clear it up towards centre half. Picked up, they'll come backwards here. It'll find its way to Sheridan. Sheridan, the big fella, has got some dance moves there. He's able to step across, fire it out now. Manasakis gone into some space, but he was pounced upon straight away by Tom Strosh. And we'll have a ball up, 55 out from goal.
Sorry to jump in, Cam. Just noticing a real intent from the Bendigo midfielders to make Jordan Buzzardall earn his touches. They're hitting him very hard indeed.
I definitely reckon Simon Rosa would have mentioned the impact he was having in that quarter time address. There's a free kick pulled out by the non-officiating umpire here, and play stopped while they try and work out whose ball it is. It'll be a free kick which will go to Bochma, who's also been busy. Bochma quickly gets and goes. Nice looking kick inside forward 50, but an even better mark. Floating in, taking the defensive grab for Bendigo. They'll clear it out of defence. That came from Lockie Wright, the Sandhurst product. His kick was turned over though. Now they'll go back inside the Ammos, and the kick was nice, and Riley Virtue marks 50 metres out from goal, directly in front. Doesn't like his chances on the set shot. Thought about the handball off to Ablett, then sent a low drilling pass inside. It might have been not paid, I'm not sure. Quick handball out to James Allen. Allen sends it to the top of the goal square. Didn't quite find a target, and they'll clear it out of defence. Lockie Wright just happy to hoop it out of there. Turned over though. Ligeris gets it back for the Ammos. He'll chip it even further back where he'll find Bochma. They're happy to move this ball fast. Bochma's kick inside forward 50, needs a mark. Didn't get one, and it's knocked off hands, and in the end, Antonowitz just Jackie Chans it out of mid-air and sends it into the middle of the ground, which might work out for Bendigo. Picked up here by Darcy Laurie, who's taken straight away, and the tackle umpire says no prior. Bendigo bench in front of us suggesting it might have been holding the ball, but the umpire says no.
Antonowitz leading with the ankle. You don't see that too often. Free kick in the ruck going the way of the Bendigo Footy League. And that might be the big fella Crisp who's rewarded with the free kick. Handball option beside him, long in the green direction. The fist came from Lowry. He'll track it behind the play. Neither VAFA player went for the footy down there. Horsfall picks it up and goes to Ligeris, who lowers the eyes magnificently to Manasakis. Through left half back commentary side, Manasakis will stop and prop. 12 games, 4 goals for the Old Trinity vice captain this year. Nicky Nichols went for a fly, couldn't bring it down, but will do the tackling job between wing and half back, and we'll have a stoppage in front of the Bendigo Footy League bench. 24, nearly 25 gone on this second term. 41 playing 46. The last 3 goals of the game going to the radio dial to the Bendigo Footy League. It's under arms and legs. Eventually it's handballed out of there by Jimmy Allen, and pulled down is McGlashan. He got it out too. The umpire just letting them play. Thompson's waiting for this on the outside. It never quite got to him. Tardrew bending over to pick it up in the green boots. Does now have the footy to Crisp, back to Tardrew. All along the boundary this between wing and half forward for the Bendigo Footy League. Tardrew might get it again. Does so. Looks to the inside. A handball behind him. That's dangerous. Nicky Nichols came steaming in and gave away a free kick for high contact. He clips Ethan Roberts high. Free kick going to the left footer.
Yeah, I reckon Roberts was a little bit lucky there. The handball probably wasn't the greatest of options, but the pressure from the VAFA has been strong. Into the middle of the ground they go, Bendigo. They can wheel it forward through Jaden Burke. Just Gary's over the pack, tracking after it, not able to get there. It was Maxted, and it goes over the boundary line for a throw in. Talked about the impact that we were having before here, Paddy, by Manasakis. I've got him down here. He works for the Essendon Football Club in data analysis.
It's a wonder what you can find on LinkedIn on a Thursday night when you haven't got much to do in the big city.
There you go. There's an interesting stat out there. So I'm sure the Bombers fans wouldn't want to be talking about too much footy at the moment. Haddo gets the ball and handballs backwards for Bendigo. Fallon gets it, sends it into the hot spot, needs a fly. The fly came from the VAFA defence, and a terrific grab on the way down was taken. And it was done there by Laurie. Laurie's handball was okay to a teammate. They'll try and clear their way straight through the middle, which has been their mantra all day. And the kicking has been great to make it work. Will Nichols has got it. He spreads it out wide. They'll go down the poolside wing now. Had the option in short there with a handball to McGlashan. Decides not to. Will kick further down the line. Mark will be taken here for the Victorian Amateur Association in the hands of Michael Nichols. A couple of Nichols out there for the Ammos. He chips it short and finds a teammate who is on centre wing.
So it's McGlashan, and it's inch by inch for the Ammos here. Full side wing. This is Fewings, whose left foot has been precise. So that one burst through the hands there of Buzzardsill, who was caught behind the footy. And the turnover ensues. The Bendigo Footy League comes storming forward. Rosengren has one over the top. The handball a bit hot. Ablett on the scene. The ball pitched past. Sounds. Half-time here at the QEO, the Bendigo Footy League. 6-5-41, the VAFA. 7-4-46. 5-point leaders that quarter going. 27 minutes.
Long quarter, 6-5, 41, 7-4, 46. Derek Philo, what did Bendigo do well in that quarter to bring the game back onto their terms before we go to the half-time break?
Yeah, I just reckon they just got more players involved in the game, getting more of the ball, just taking a bit more time with it, a bit more composure so that we weren't turning it over as often, and that was able to then result in some better quality deliveries to our forwards.
Terrific game of footy here at the QEO. It's a 5-point margin. The game is well and truly on here. Bendigo versus the Victorian Amateur Football Association on Live 25, local fresh footy, the second half to come.
It's driving through the heat and the pouring rain. It's the champ who can't be beat. It's our greatest game. It's the game we all grew up with. Now you gotta help it grow. Get involved. Country football. Country football. Get in the action. Get involved. Feel the excitement. Country football.
Fire up for the footy with Don Footy Franks. Whether you're with family, friends, or the matchday crew.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Keyser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas. They design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Keyser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Keyser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
It's the Bendigo Football Netball League top 5 for round 11. Kicking us off at number 1, Joel Buderick here from Eagle Hawk. This is a brilliant goal, this. Get off me on that one. Another one he gets through and then just guides it all the way home. Look at that on the replay. That is Class E. Number 2, the brilliant effort this, working his way through traffic, the right-footed snap, sending it straight home. Number 3, Harrison Burke here from Golden Square, had to think quick. He got it in the pack and got it on the boot and put it through. A brilliant goal. Number 4, a double feature here. Harrison Burke again from Golden Square. Another example of thinking quick. He's just lightning in front of goal. How good was that? Number 5, Caelan Huntley from Castlemaine. We love it when the midfielders break away like this. Then he goes bang! That was from about 65 out. Bounces in the square and all the way home. A brilliant goal, Caelan.
You through this bitter cold winter, stock up with quality wood. It's available right now from Bendigo Firewood and Soil, delivered straight to your door. Hardwood mix and red gum in stock plus more. Renewably sourced, seasoned to perfection. For a longer burn time, a warmer home, producing less ash. Get your wood pile stocked from Bendigo Firewood and Soil, McDowell's Road, East Bendigo. Find fresh sponsor at bendigofirewoodandsoil.com.au.
Here's the picture. Picture Art Plus and Bendigo City Framers are now one massive business offering you even greater opportunities. Enjoy the same fantastic staff and service that brings your innovative designs to life. You can frame your memories or explore other stunning artwork. Plus there's wall art, framing options and convenient parking right at the door. Fresh sponsor located at 88 Garcead Street, Bendigo on the corner of Arthur Street. Got the picture?
Fresh Weather, sponsored by the Maryborough Highlands Society. Your total entertainment for the entire family. Serving meals 7 days a week. The Maryborough Highlands Society. Maryborough, of course.
Shower or two on Monday for Bendigo. Down to 4 overnight and a top of 11. Shower or two for Tuesday, 2 low overnight and a high of 11. And a shower or two for Wednesday, a low of 4 and a top of 14 degrees.
Did you know we'll tell listeners all about your local event with our fresh, free and local updates? Email direct into the Fresh Studio. Requests at freshfmbendigo.com.au. Like to hear a song from the 70s, 80s or 90s? Requests at freshfmbendigo.com.au. Bendigo Fresh 101.5 FM across Central Victoria. Fresh online, download the free Community Radio Plus app.
We are keeping it fresh. Your local station, Bendigo's Fresh 101.5 FM. It's halftime and I hope you're enjoying today's live Bendigo football match. Footy Fresh Central Victoria's local station has for more than 35 years broadcasted local live footy. Please support the local businesses that you hear during this broadcast, as it's local businesses that support your community football. After local band Darkside's weekend song, we return with more live Bendigo football.
Heading down an open highway, those that seek and those that find, hidden fears fire back at me. Same cold shivers racing down my spine. There ain't much that
goes over the head of both, and it's rattling around on the boundary line. Still in. Jones has the footy, feeds it back. Barnett, left forward pocket, left foot banana. You are joking.
One way than the other, kick around the body, he was smothered, went back to D'Amico, hard up against the boundary, left foot centering kick to the top of the goal square, around the body goes Pockney!
Doing it for our community. Local first. Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Half-time at the Queen Elizabeth Oval here in Bendigo. It's the VAFA 7-4-46 leading the Bendigo Footy League 6-5-41 after a 22 points to 1 second term for the home squad. Gets them right back into this contest. Paddy Grimlay here with you on the call, streaming on a number of places. We've got Fresh FM, we've got vafa.com.au. I believe might be a community TV or streamer element as well today. fantastic to be bringing you the action. The goal kickers for the Ammos, 2 for Matty Fewing, singles for Mickey Nichols, Pays, McGlashan, Buzzertle and Will Nichols. For the Bendigo Footy League, 3 for Maxted and singles for Green and Hartley. We'll take a moment to look through the live stats thanks to Premier Data, who are doing that for us today. The Vics have had 6 more disposals, but you look at the contest, it's the Bendigo Footy League plus 16 contested possessions in that first half, 75 to 59, and they're also ahead in the clearances, 23 to 16. Most of those coming in the middle of the ground, 10 to 4, and you can thank Lockie Targer, I'd imagine, for that number. Everywhere else is pretty much though stands out. The Vics, the Victorian Amateur Footy Association, 29 to 21 inside 50s. Of course, this is the 4th game of the Big V's centenary weekend for the VAFA. Games between the Big V Women's and Med squads yesterday, taking on the Perth Footy League, and then earlier today the Under-19s game. The Big V victorious against a Bendigo Footy League representative squad. Cam Powers back in the commentary box beside me. Cam, an encouraging second term for the Bendigo Footy League. It looks like there was a bit of trouble for the Gold and Blue in that first term, but they fought back strongly.
Yeah, it certainly seemed to be the way that they kind of changed their style of play in that second quarter. In the first quarter, they were really looking to be a little bit slow and kind of possession-based, but that second quarter after VAFA's first quarter was a lot more fast and direct. And I think Cal mentioned it a few times, that a lot of their goals came off real long and deep entries inside forward 50, which was something that Cal really spoke about. And I mean, Hartley's been a terrific figure around about that centre-half forward for them as well today, so that's making a huge difference.
Look at the score sources as well, Cam, which I think indicates how close this contest is. 5 goals from turnover for the Ammos, 4 goals from turnover for the Bendigo Footy League, both squads with 2 goals from stoppages. So it's just been a really hard-fought and entertaining game of footy. We've played at such a high pace and with such high level of skill. And there are some chief protagonists in this game of footy. My eye is drawn to the number 43 for the Bendigo Footy League, Kobe Maxted, who has 3.
Terrific. He's provided a real target inside forward 50, and he's taken 2 terrific grabs. So one of those goals was just a really good Crummers kind of goal, where the ball fell to him at the back of the pack and he was able to finish. But the first 2 goals that he's kicked were off really good, strong contested marks. And that's something that Kobe Maxted is really well known for, is his strong contested marking, Derek. And he flies at footies inside forward 50, and it's almost like when he's playing for Sandhurst, they give him the licence to fly at everything, and he marks more than he actually drops.
Yeah, he has an ability to get into goal-scoring positions, doesn't he? So that last was a true Crummers goal, and I think Bendigo in that quarter, especially with the wind, when they played long, they were very dangerous, and that tended to be when we could turn the ball over quickly and transition quickly with long kicking rather than overusing it.
John Hunter down at ground level, is there a bit of threat of rain potentially, Johnny? It's certainly got a bit dark out there.
Well, Paddy, that's exactly what I was going to say. You look up behind the grandstand, which incidentally is chock-a-block full of people, so it's great to see. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a bit of rain. It's really some dark clouds over there, and the wind, the breeze, has really started to get a lot cooler. I've also done a Matthew Lloyd with the grass at my feet, and I've thrown it into the air, and there's a considerable breeze out here. I reckon it might be a 4-goal breeze to the city end, so it'll be interesting to see how both sides handle the conditions in the second half.
So on the breeze, how are we looking at that line for the canteen out there, Johnny? I reckon you'll be in there for most of that third quarter, so it's a pretty big crowd.
That's right, and there's no mirrors at your house, Cam, so you better get something to eat.
Thanks for that, Johnny. So luckily I was able to stock up pre-game, but certainly has got quite dark out there, Paddy.
It really has.
Norm was just showing me the weather radar. Looks like there might be a little bit of rain potentially coming in. So certainly some on the radar. So that may play a big factor on who goes on to win this game. So this third quarter, with the VAFA having the breeze, if we do get rain in the last quarter, may be a pivotal third quarter. They talk about the premiership quarter being the third quarter, and that very well could be the case if this rain does hit.
I like we've had the full mixture of conditions. You'd usually say 4 seasons in one day in Melbourne City, not quite in Bendigo City, because we had some sunshine earlier, we've had wind the whole way through that's blowing towards this broadcast side of the ground and favouring substantially the Bendigo City end of the QEO.
Paddy, I'll just come over the top if that's all right. John Hunter at ground level. I've got one of the assistant coaches, Rick Ladston, and tough conditions out there. Rick, what was the message at half-time?
Oh, look, we've got ourselves right back in the game, and we're confident if we can hold it together this quarter and keep the pressure up and just make it a bit of a scrap, that we can come home strong. But we've just got to adapt a bit quicker to the conditions a little bit. The weather's going to turn a bit, but it's quite windy out here, so just got to be a bit patient with the ball, and then make sure when we're coming for, we're not just blazing away.
And the boys really embracing the concept of interleague, aren't they? Good to see.
Yeah, they are. It's a great group, and Simon's created a really good culture from day one, and these guys are just, they're rippers, so we're really wrapped with them. Hopefully they can finish off with a win and make it a special one.
Thanks for your time, Rick. Good luck for the rest of the day.
Thanks, mate.
John Hunter down at ground level with Bendigo assistant coach. They are stacked with names on their assistant coaches today. Rick Ladson, of course. Many people would know Rick Ladson's name from his time in AFL football, where he was a champion premiership player at Hawthorn, and then came back to Golden Square, where he won 2 premierships as a player as well. So very well known name around Bendigo footy, and terrific to see him getting his head and staying involved and helping out in such a thing, because him and Simon Rosa were a very pivotal part in Golden Square's run of 5 flags a few years ago. So now they're helping out Bendigo footy, which is something you love from those past champions of the game.
Yeah, it's great to see both programs embrace this concept so wholeheartedly, like all the travelling crew from Melbourne for the VAFA that have made their way up. Just saw Paul Newton, the president, making his way around the concourse, so it's wonderful to see that support, and such a strong turnout as well. Of course, we can't quite see the grandstand here at the QEO from our commentary position, but I am told reliably by multiple sources that it is borderline bursting at the seams.
Yes.
So a big cheerio to everyone who's listening to our coverage and has come to the game as well. It adds such a layer of complexion and excitement to this contest.
I reckon that if you were here at the ground, you'd possibly be eyeing off a seat in the grandstand at the moment, because who knows, come halfway through this quarter, you may not get access to one if this rain does hit. It is a terrific crowd in attendance. Interleague footy being embraced by the Bendigo Football League and the Victorian Amateur Football Association as well. Terrific to see. Last year's result when these two teams played down at Elstonwing Park, the VAFA won by 13 points, 12-13-85 to 10-12-72. And based on this today, it may be a very similar margin. To get the second half underway of interleague footy, here is Paddy Grinley.
So Callum Crisp and Jack Sheridan resume their battle in the centre of the ground, and Geordie Buzzertall, that's another disposal. He hacks it inside 50 for the Ammos. Mickey Nichols was the target. Fewings takes the footy. Free kick going the way of the Bendigo Footy League. Cooper Jones was held onto by Mickey Nichols, and he'll go sideways through left half back to Zach Vescovi. Every game this year for Gisborne, featured in last year's contest at Elstonwick Park. His options ahead of the footy have dried up entirely. Leading for him is Strauch, and he'll take the ball in his hands through left half back beside the boundary. Another short kick over the top. They're working it through. This time it's Brody Haddo.
The kick came to Haddo from Strauch. There might have been a free kick for off the ball contact in the box here, I reckon, Paddy. As they send down the line, Maxdev was up there trying to take the grab, but Tommy Strauch floated in front of him. Of course, the people listening that aren't too familiar with Tom Strauch, of course, Jenna Strauch, his sister, Olympic swimming champion. Inside forward 50 go Bendigo, and the mark has been taken about 40 metres out. It's a terrific chance for goal. I think it's Fergus Green. He wheels around onto the right, Charlie Curnow-esque, and he slots it. No, it went right to the line. It looked good off the boot, but it just didn't quite have the carry. It just dropped in the breeze. Minor score. But it is now a 3-point margin here in favour of the Amateur Football Association. A minute and a half gone in the third quarter.
Great build-up play. They get that shot on goal from Bendigo, so...
It looks pretty adept going into the breeze. That green kick dropping substantially its last few metres of flight. Here go to the Bendigo Footy League again. It's a high kick in the green direction in the one-on-one with Lowry, and he got a bit of Lowry's jumper on the way through. And the amateurs will get the free kick from the last line. Darcy Lowry with his hands full with Fergus Green. That's a job for the Fitzroy boy. He kicks it long down the line. It was an ill-directed pass. Ethan Roberts, who had a great first half, chops it off and wants to go into the corridor. Tandri wants the handball. Vescovi holds the footy. He's 2 kicks from home. Runs around on that right boot. Keeps it low inside 50. Too low. Cut down by Matty Clarkson, the right footer out of the Caulfield Grammarians. And he'll set up the amateurs from 35 metres out from his defensive goal square.
So Clarkson wheels out of defence. Will go in the direction of James Allen. Didn't quite carry to him though. Intercept mark taken for Bendigo. Lockie Wright, who's been busy. He'll wheel it up towards centre half forward. It's a nice kick. It lands on the chest of Brock Harvey, who sends it to the top of the goal square. Mark not quite taken there by Hartley, and it allows the Ammos to turn the football over. It'll roll out. It'll find its way into Bailey Payes' hands, who's right on the paint of 50 at the Barnard Street end of the ground. Hayes' kick was dangerous, but it might work out okay. Antonowitz was in there, and he forced the turnover. He'll be disappointed not to hold on to that mark, though, Caden Antonowitz. Derek Philo.
Yeah, the pressure from Bendigo to lock the ball in is excellent at the moment.
So Buzzardle doing the tackling to tie that footy up. Crisp on the outside, the handball inside 50. We'll get another stoppage, I suspect, on the red paint. So Bendigo controlling territory into the breeze. Good signs for the Golden Blue in the opening 3.5 minutes of the third term. Will Nichols waits for the footy to come his way. It never did. McGlashan's now got it. They've got him. His handball was high and random, and Jimmy Allen now has it. They've got him again. Jack Fallon doing the tackling, and he brings down Allen holding the ball. Encouraging start this from the home squad. Jack Fallon on that left. The kick is short. It's low, and it finds a Golden Blue jumper inside 50. Although the kick is going to have to go a decent trip here for the Bendigo Footy League. It's Antonowitz, your man, who's got good goal-kicking form behind him. I believe he's coming in second, or in fact, no, he's leading the Ron Best medal leading goal kicker, of course, at the Bendigo Footy League Stakes from a teammate, Caden Antonowitz.
The kick that hit him perfectly also come from his coach in Jack Fallon.
Waxing nicely, aren't they, the South Bendigo boys? Here's Antonowitz from 40 metres, left half forward. The kick is short, it drops. It'll be fisted out of play by the amateurs. So the opportunity's still there for the Bendigo Footy League. It'll be thrown in left forward pocket, Derek Filer.
Yes, we're keeping it in very well. We're not allowing them, as they were doing in the first half, to run it out.
Throw in, inside. Hartley went in the ruck, knocked it down. Cleared out of there from the amateurs. It'll be a chance though for Callum Chris sitting behind the ball. Couldn't quite take the mark, and getting in front there and taking the mark there was Nichols. So Michael Nichols will go. Kick was a bit of a no-look kick though. It's all Bendigo back there. Cooper Jones with the intercept mark can go backwards to Reaper. He does just that. So Reaper can wheel off half back. He's got the next kick in the line. That next kick is Lockie Wright. So Lockie Wright plays on rather than kicking, goes with it. Very nice handball to Cooper Smith, who's able to fend off some trouble. Short pass. Well, it was looking for Haddo, but it was an intercept mark for the Amos, and they will wheel and go like they do. Up to 60. Player couldn't quite take it. Riley Vertu comes to lend a hand, and might be a free kick for a dangerous tackle, I reckon. Certainly looked like a bit of a slinging motion there.
Cooper Smith's just a little bit sore behind play here, Cam, but back to his feet and trudging away from the contest.
So it was the free kick to Cooper Smith, and it's just been paid downfield to Reaper.
Not quite sure. I think Reaper was in the secondary contest as this ball was punched out of play and then picked up the free kick. So the physio and doctor made their way briefly out to Cooper Smith. He's currently in a conversation with the physio and seems to be pressing his case to stay out there, and has done so successfully. So no harm done, hopefully, for the Bendigo man. 42 playing 46. The Ammos ahead by 4 points, 6 minute mark of the third term here at the QEO. Dark skies overhead, those light towers have just been switched on. Dull lighting here. Buzzardle spins out of the contest, left the footy behind, goes again, does Geordie Buzzardle, and sends a torpedo punt from 60 metres and just misses. Geordie Buzzardle, that would have been special. To the left-hand side, he left it a touch skinny. The Bendigo Footy League move it quickly out of the defensive goal square with Cooper Jones left half back.
Yeah, I thought that was nearly going to go through based on the angle it was coming. It was a good old-fashioned torp. Jones has got it from the kick in. He's going to go down the grandstand side wing, but you can see that ball holding up in the breeze. Tarju come to the front, couldn't quite take it, but it was grabbed at ground level by his Sandhurst teammate Lockie Hood. Hood's kick into congestion. Taken by Ethan Roberts, who's been very impressive for me in his first representative game for the Bendigo Football League. Kangaroo Flat captain, of course. And Kangaroo Flat captain at just 18 years of age. A magnificent achievement for him. Handball backwards from Thompson, found Fallon. Fallon's kicked down the line. Worked to the front of the pack was right. He got it off to Callum Crisp. Handballed it like a ruckman. But it worked out okay for Tarju. Now they keep it moving forward to Lockie Hood. Hood's kick inside forward 50 is absolutely perfection. Mark not quite taken though. It spills backwards. Ben Thompson, a bit of a shank on the handball to Lockie Hood, but Thompson goes in secondary to recover his mistake and will force a ball up. And 55 out from goal is where umpire Carter will throw the ball up. Bendigo in attack.
Some more lights going on around the QEO as Sheridan climbs high to tap that one forward with the right mitt. It's out on that swimming pool wing where it's eventually tracked down by Ethan Roberts, who put the handball sideways, and Bendigo lose control of the footy. The kick was intended for Fewings. It was fisted out of play by Lockie Wright between wing and half forward for the Ammos. Throw in called by the umpire. A few more of those light globes switched on in the light towers at the QEO. It's getting very dark out there indeed, Derek Philo. If it is to rain, are the Bendigo boys prepared to play wet weather footy?
Well, yeah, they should be right to play, but it's both the same teams, isn't it, really?
Tarjuru feeds it through from the throw-in and they'll get a clean clearance, the Bendigo Footy League. 1-on-1 inside 50, pushing off and running forward. Here's an opportunity. Lockie Hood handballs it over the top. They'll run it in. Fergus Green. And the Bendigo Footy League hit the front. 7-6, 48, 7-5, 47. A 1-point lead. Green's got a couple. Our score sponsor, Aussie Disposals, Live 25, local fresh footy. This is a thrilling game of representative footy. These two squads putting on a clinic.
It was a terrific finish. I'm just noticing that Cooper Smith's just come to the boundary after that contest before Cal down at ground level. He looks a little bit proppy.
Just have down that way, but the point I was going to mention as well in this quarter, it feels like only 6 or 7 inside 50s to 1 in favour of Bendigo this quarter, which completely contradicts the wind that we've been seeing right throughout the afternoon. It is still going down the way of the VAFA this quarter though.
Matt Fewings gets it out of the middle. He just bangs it inside forward 50. Carried 60 metres off a couple of bounces. They've got a loose running inside here and Bustle to if they can get it to him. Handball didn't quite carry there, but it spills out. It'll be a flying snap from 30 metres out. Mark taken on the last line of defence by Vescovi. Vescovi gets it to Tom Strosh. Strosh back in board. Tarju. You love to have the ball in the hands of Lockie Tarju. Sends it backwards. Vescovi, the Gisborne representative, finds his Gisborne captain and captain of the interleague team today as well in Reaper. Gets it, plays on, kick out, just was not quite had enough on it, and Fewings floats in front and takes the intercept mark. So Fewings has got it, 60 out from goal. Called to play on, he'll send it into the hot spot, needs a fly and gets one. Mark not quite taken there. Might have been Sheridan that flew at the footy and Vescovi will just bang one out of defence, but it might be coming straight back because it's either on the full or a mark to Masakis, but neither of them actually did occur in the end, and Bendigo did enough to just touch the ball before it went out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Underneath the scoreboard, 1 point the difference, 10 minutes gone, third quarter.
Yeah, it was a crucial fist, wasn't it, from Jaden Burke, who came from about 15 metres away to make sure he got a hand to that ball. So we'll get a stoppage on the pain of 50. It was 4 inside 50s to zip to start this quarter per Cal Cummins' point, but the Ammo's just getting a little bit of control back. Merritt goes spinning through, loses control on the handball, handballs it near the boundary line. They'll be happy with another stoppage just beneath the light tower. In full effect now here at the QEO. So first time the Bendigo Footy League have led this game all day. You can put in the book at the 8.5 minute mark of the third term. After the Ammo's led it by 26 points at quarter time. They've come all the way back. A flying snap from Sheridan. It'll fall in the goal square. 2-on-2s they are. The big punch came over the top. The Bendigo Footy League through Reaper on the last line. Should escape while the handball put a lot of pressure onto Haddo, who did well to force the ball loose of the tackle and over the white line. Again, it'll be thrown in this time beside the behind post, right forward pocket for the Amos. 48, playing 47. 11 minutes gone, third term action.
So throw in. Going up in the ruck there was Boston Dowling. Trying to get the snap there was Virtue. Couldn't quite get enough space to get a good connection on the footy, but it's still at the top of the goal square. Handball out. It's now Dowling. Dowling at the top of the goal square managed to find some space, and the big fella has some moves, and he kicks the goal. Boston Dowling with the finish. In fact, no, the confrontation in the goal square. The goal's paid. And the Ammos move back in front. 9 goals 5 to 7-6. It's a 5-point lead to the Amateur Football Association. Score sponsor, Parsons Towing, Castlemaine, Live 25, local, fresh, interleague footy. Derek Filer, they just wanted to make us wait to confirm that goal.
Yeah, well, it was a great goal from the big fella. He's pretty nimble. And probably a goal they needed with this wind. They really do, because I don't think they're playing as well as they have been. So to get that goal is important.
First goal for the Ammo since the 27-minute mark of the first term where Matt Fewings kicked his second. Dowling into the book. He's got his first of the afternoon. The big man out of Old Trinity, as we mentioned, is having a good year at Collingwood VFL as well. Buzzertool fell over as he was trying to skate clear of the contest. He's going to be just about last up as the umpire comes in to throw it in the air, attacking side of the centre circles for the Bendigo Footy League. 48 playing 53. Live 25, local fresh footy. It's a pleasure to bring it to you. The kick inside 50 for the Bendigo Footy League was ill-directed off the hands of Green out of Preston Bull Ants. He's after it again, is Big Greenie. And Luke managed to get it over the top, although it came unstuck. Thompson snaps towards the goal mouth. It'll drift into the hands, though, of Darcy Lowry. And the Fitzroy man will take the Ammos forward from the last line.
Lowry will switch the kick. They'll look to go down the pull side wing here. Got some options further of the footy. They'll go in the direction. That's a terrific grab. Might be Dowling again, I reckon, all the way down there. right in front of the players' race at the South Bendigo poolside change rooms. Kick down the line, intercept mark taken nicely though for Bendigo.
I reckon, Cam, that's about 4 direct turnovers from kicks for the Amos this quarter alone. It's been pretty disappointing between the arcs.
Yeah, the skills certainly have dropped a little bit. Bode Stevens has possession of the football. He trips the short pass centrally, finds Jack Fallon. So Fallon's got it. He'll go even further short. I think Bendigo won't mind holding possession at the moment. Pass was good to right. He'll send it inside forward 50, and a free kick's been pulled. It might have been a bit of an unrealistic attempt by Brock Harvey, and it will be taken by Hugo McGlashan. Representing Old Trinity this afternoon is Hugo McGlashan. He has the ball in defence.
Important note, if I can jump in, sorry guys, that you made there, Paddy, a couple of minutes ago about the ball use of the Vicks and the Big V have been quite poor this quarter. What was working for both teams in the first and second term with the Breeze down to the city end is just get the ball long and forward, put a lot of pressure on the respective defence, and the Big V, they're just not doing that at the moment.
Thanks, Cal Cummins on the boundary for us. The kick was clearing defensive 50. In the end, it's out of bounds on the full. Merritt will take it. He's run off his line, so the man in green will call him back. He is 80 metres from goal. Matthew Merritt. This kick will sit up into the breeze. You'd think there's no option for him. He could go sideways to Lockie Wright if he so chooses to. He doesn't. He kicks it a shallow entry inside to the pocket. It's a well-weighted kick. And that might be your man again, Kobe Maxted, who came up full-chested through the right forward pocket. Hartley, pardon me. He does have a long leg, but he is kicking it into the substantial breeze. As we've seen with Michael Hartley, no mucking around with the set shot routine. 2-step approach. He's not going to have the shot at goal. Sits it up to the top of the square. They all fly for it. No one can take the mark. Pays on the outside, has the footy. Dodges to the inside for the Vicks. The handball was cut down by Fergus Green, who himself handed it forward. Clever Camp's got a problem. Goes backwards, Ligorous, Buzzertool, they work it out, the Amos. Buzzertool fends off Tardrew, takes a little run, goes along the boundary line, finds his Williamstown teammate and Bockma. Excellent from Geordie Buzzertool. And the Amos get themselves out of trouble. Grandstand wing, the Bockma will force it forward.
So Bockma does just that. His kick didn't quite hit its intended target. Jaden Burke was able to fist the ball back into the middle for Bendigo. Forces a repeat stoppage. Gee, 10 minutes of those lights, and now they're really starting to take effect here at the QEO. Very breezy conditions, yeah. They do host a lot of night games here for Bendigo footy as well. We used to have the VFL team down here. They used to play regularly on Friday and Saturday nights.
Gold.
It's been a while since they've been around the old Bendigo Gold. I did see a bloke wandering around in a Bendigo Gold shirt before, which I thought was, you don't see that very often.
Might try and buy it off him.
Tom's Josh will get the free kick out of the middle. Chips the short pass out to Cooper Jones. Jones will go further forward. They can send it inside forward 50 Bendigo. Up towards Maxted. Couldn't quite get it on the second, but he was able to basketball bounce it back up to himself. They go backwards. Then he gets it. 1-2 from Haddo was Maxted. Inside forward 50. Ablett charges at the footy for the Amos. He did well just to be a presence down there and turned it over. Amos will work it back into the middle. Again, their kicking hasn't been as great as what it had been in the first half. Eventually it spills out to James Allen. Just got his kick away in time, but he was taken as he tackled, which affected the kick. And Lockie Wright's back there for Bendigo. He takes the intercept mark and then chips the pass further forward into the hands of Cooper Jones.
He was tackled as he kicked, but it's another turnover between the arcs for the Amos. 8-5-53, they lead. The Bendigo footy lead, 7-6-48, 16 and a half gone. Third term action, the long kick past halfway. Swimming pool wing, they all fly for it. The umpire called play on. Stevens hacks it forward to the Bendigo footy league towards the arc of 50. 2-on-1, favouring the Perth footy league. Lenehan was the one of the Amos, and the skipper takes the mark and feeds it somewhat dangerously to Clarkson. They closed in on him, not before he got the kick away. Tom Wilson. Out of Albert Park, the only representative out of Div 3 of the Amos out there today. Wilson might get on the outside again. No, they'll think better of it. Horsefall. One of the old Geelong reps, 3 of them in the side. Into the pocket, Pays all by himself. And Bailey Pays will be right behind this one. 35 metres out, right forward pocket. The old Peninsula Pirate will line up for his second. He does have 40 goals for the Division 1 squad this season. The 21-year-old out of Mount Eliza. Runner-up in the BNF last year. 3 bags of 8 goals or more this season for Bailey Pays, so loves hitting the scoreboard. This would take his best effort. He's deep in the right forward pocket. He'll kick this on the right boot. Bailey Pays misses to the right-hand side. The Amos by one straight kick, 8-6-54. The Bendigo Footy League, 7-6-48. 18 minutes gone, the third term. Our score sponsor, Parsons Towing, Live 25, local fresh footy.
So that behind now makes it an even goal, the difference. And you'll be wrapped at the moment to be within a goal at three-quarter time if it does stay that way, I reckon. Cooper Jones brings the ball back into play, runs his 15 metres and sends it up in the breeze. And you can see the breeze just pull that ball back. Hartley read it really well. He gets it marked. Into the middle he goes. Good pass. Finds its way to Harvey. Harvey's handball missed its target in Stevens. Otherwise, they were away to the races, and it invites the Ammos back in. Picked off by Ned Nichols. Nichols gets it. They work it out. Manasakis gets the ball, and he'll chip it wide, and now they can steady on the far wing in the hands of Clarkson, son of Alistair Clarkson, who's coaching at the MCG today for North Melbourne. They're not here in attendance, of course, and the kick, though, will be turned over. Bendigo can work it backwards. Into the middle, they'll find Lockie Wright.
It is a one-off, so you won't see much tape spooled through, I think, this year, but I know what Luke Marnie will be tearing his hair out at this point of this third quarter, as that kick from Lockie Wright was nice. Moves it into the hands of Haddo. He's true centre wing, swimming pool side of the QEO, 6-point ball game. The Ammo's in front, but only just. It's a long kick towards half forward. They'll all fly. Targery gets to it first at ground level, just kicks it blindly inside 50. Fergus Green's your man. Couldn't bring it down on Lowry. He's now tracking at the bootlaces. Has Linehan, who pushes off Green. Working in a phone box back pocket. Fergus Green never gave up the play. And Lowry, he almost has to score a try as he dives over the white line for a throw in. Left forward pocket. You can put that down to the work rate of Fergus Green. Excellent work there. Derek Philo just kept the ball alive and then forces a forward 50 stoppage.
Yeah, excellent bit of play.
It'll be a throw in. Bendigo in attack. Hartley in the ruck is caught behind, knocked to ground there. That was Sheridan that got the first tap to it. Spills out. Ammos can look to emerge their way through. It was Bustleton again. Handball off. Down the line they go. Mark not paid there to Vescovi. Just got an important punch in there to Nichols. Vescovi stayed at ground level and he's happily taken over the boundary line. Bailey Pays came to put the pressure on. Of course, Bailey Pays was the rising star in 2023 where he come third in that one. So certainly a lot of talent there for the youngster. Tarju got possession of the footy first. He was taken straight away in the tackle.
Time on now in this third term. The Ammos with the breeze, 1 goal apiece. So it's successful so far for the Bendigo Footy League.
Umpire Card will throw the ball up. He's just giving Crisp the opportunity to put his boot back on. It was rather nice of him. Crisp knocked it straight down to his feet, and a couple of players dive on top of that one. We'll repeat the stoppage again. James Allen was the tackler there for the VAFA. Crisp got that one down. Boston Dowling was in the ruck contest against him this time. We'll try again. So that's 3 stoppages in a row, and probably a lot more stoppages this quarter, Derek, than what we saw in the first 2.
Yeah, there will be. I think Bendigo's playing the game at the moment on their terms. They don't want it open.
Yeah, spot on, Derek. It's been tight and contested, especially in these last 5 minutes. What can Clevercamp do about that? He finds Dowling by hands. It slipped through his fingers, and it was taken cleanly by Haddo. And here go the Bendigo Footy League again. It's the big fella Crisp in the centre of the QEO who sends it inside 50. Oh, Green dropped a mark that he would have taken usually, and Maxted's on the scene. He's got help from O'Shannessy. They'll battle over it to ground level. Whistle, free kick, Bendigo Footy League.
Luke Green did all the hard work there, going back with the flight of the ball, and no one was around him in the end. He just dropped it at the pivotal second.
So I think it's going the way of O'Shannessy. He will be 45 metres out from goal, right half forward. He's a left footer, so that'll work for him with how he brings it across the body. Still kicking into the breeze here at the QEO. The 18-year-old the teenager out of Eaglehawk. 27 goals this season, a season high of 5 back in round 8 against Golden Square. Just missed the 1 game through an ankle injury. Not going to take the shot at goal. Pops it short because he's got Maxted. And Kobe Maxted has an opportunity for a 4th. He is a little bit closer. It would kick from 40. Doesn't look confident, does he?
Miss.
Well, I'd say he doesn't look confident. You're saying he's not going to miss. Let's see who wins this one, Cam Power. Right half forward. A kick of maybe 42 metres for Kobe Maxted, the dead-eye. Again, he's going to go short into the pocket.
I told you he doesn't miss. He doesn't miss his short passes.
Never wrong, just early. Just goes into the right forward pocket. So from 2 set shots, this will annoy Luke Marnie. Bendigo have been able to move it ever forward, and now Lockie Hood from 30 metres out, right forward pocket, has a much better chance than O'Shannessy and Maxted. So formerly, of course, Lockie Hood of the Grovedale Tigers, Geelong Falcons, 14 goals for Sandhurst this season, played every game during the home and away. On the runway now, right footer, skinny, well skinny, lucky to sneak in for a minor score. Inside one kick though, the Bendigo Footy League, 7-7-49, playing the VAFA, 8-6-54, 23 minutes gone in the third for our score sponsor is Parsons Towing, Live 25, local fresh footy.
I'll bring the ball back into play and they're going to come down the grandstand side. Certainly look at the breeze, grab that footy and pull it right across. No mark taken there, spills out the back. Kept alive for Bendigo though, finds its way into Tardrew. Tardrew's handball knocked back inboard by Roberts. They done well to keep it going because Ben Thompson got on the end of it. Thompson's kick inside. O'Shannessy from the side couldn't quite take the mark, but it spills to ground level. Caden Antonowitz does the roving and Caden Antonowitz slams the goal and puts Bendigo in front. 8-7-55 plays 8-6-54. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh interleague footy. Here's the voice of Derek Philo.
Yeah, Bendigo's, I believe they're now feeling fairly confident. They look like the game's getting played on their terms, and if they can take a lead into three-quarter time, I'm sure the coach and the staff would be wrapped.
But they would be. Beautifully called, by the way, Cam Power, as Antonowitz puts it through. You can see with the force of celebration that was happening from the young fella that they are feeling themselves, the Bendigo Footy League, in a really good spot. They lead this by 1 point and they've got the win to come home with. Trying to do something about that is Ned Nichols. He couldn't pick the footy up on a couple of occasions. And Tardrew ensures a stoppage. Attacking side of the centre circles in the middle of the QEO for the Bendigo Footy League. Crisp once more into the fray with Dowling. He tried to wrench his way clear of a tackle, couldn't do so, and Clevercamp, as he tried to rage out, was brought down. Well, it's McGlashan, rather. So repeat stoppages. Lights in full effect now. Overcast skies here in Bendigo. Tardrew with the 1 mitt. Handballed it straight away, though. It looked nice until he gave it to Will Nichols, who tries to feed the brother Ned. One more handball, Clevercamp, the old Peninsula Pirate, dodges inside and then turns, oh no he doesn't, Tardrew couldn't hold on to it. The kick was intended for Virtue. Coming up was Allen, in the hands now of Ned Nichols, puts it towards the arc of 50, holding on to the mark. Gee, Cooper Jones has been good all day down there. He's 55 metres out from his defensive goal mouth. And he'll look to just calm things down at the 25.5 minute mark of the third term.
Ever reliable Strathfield Safe Storm product. Cooper Jones will wheel the kick down. O'Shannessy will come from behind and try and fly, but he didn't get there because the big man, Boston Dowling, was taking a terrific grab straight in the middle. He quickly works the ball into the middle where he finds Hugo McGlashan. McGlashan's got the short pass further forward. He hits Matt Fewings, the vice-captain of this side. Fewings on the right. Sends a lovely weighted ball inside forward 50 for Riley Virtue, who marks it 48 out from goal. He's probably not backing his chances by the looks of his body language. He's certainly got his eyes darting around.
So the one thing I'll say, Cam, is that the Victorians with the win, the VAFA with the win in the first term, were able to get lots of opportunities over the back. Lots of shallow entries in this third term.
So Virtue will kick from right on the paint of 50. Not too much of an angle to deal with. It's going to fall short. In the end, it's knocked through for a minor score, which puts it back into a equal ball game. 8-7 apiece. Late in this third quarter. Bendigo wouldn't want to concede one, I don't reckon, in these last few minutes.
They're playing nicely down back. So it's the long left foot of Ethan Roberts. Those flashy orange boots have found plenty of Sharon today. Goes long down swimming pool side. The Vics have it. Will Nichols, he's tackled off the footy. Ligorous on the bounce, takes it. Dodges to the inside. Left foot kick was interrupted on its way through. Went through the legs of Fewings. But went to Allen anyway. Virtue, 40 metres out. Needs to kick. It does!
Big goal.
Riley Virtue, 24-year-old out of Bo Morris on the three-quarter time siren, puts the Ammos in front, 61 playing 55. The last quarter to come, our score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Wow, what a terrific quarter. Bendigo, I think, would be pretty happy to only be 1 goal down. They had the win in the final quarter. The last quarter to come, and what has been a magnificent game of footy and a strong representation for what interleague footy can be. 8-7-55 to 9-7-61 in favour of the VAFA. The final quarter to come from the Queen Elizabeth Oval here in Bendigo on Live 25, local fresh interleague footy.
lots of firewood to get you through this bitter cold winter. Stock up with quality wood. It's available right now from Bendigo Firewood and Soil, delivered straight to your door. Hardwood mix and red gum in stock plus more. Renewably sourced, seasoned to perfection for a longer burn time, a warmer home, producing less ash. Get your wood pile stocked from Bendigo Firewood and Soil, McDowell's Road, East Bendigo. Find fresh sponsor at bendigofirewoodandsoil.com.au.
The Locksmith Store offers all your security solutions in the one place. Specialising in all your automotive needs, digital locks, safe sales, and on-site servicing, repairs and installation. Fresh FM sponsor The Locksmith Store installs locks for both commercial and residential clients, listens to the client's needs and delivers expert advice. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency service 7 days a week. The Locksmith Store, 428 Hargrave Street, Bendigo, right on the roundabout. Safe, secure and service guaranteed.
Fire up for the footy with Don Footy Franks. Whether you're with family, friends or the matchday crew, nothing beats cheering on your team with a delicious Don Footy Frank in hand. Go straight down the middle with sauce and mustard or work it out wide with a bit of cheese and onion. Whatever you'll play, fresh and local sponsored Don Footy Franks are made for footy. Is Don is good.
Local first fresh sponsor Jason Westcott Builder, where your dreams become a reality. Whether it's crafting bespoke 5-bedroom homes or breathing new life into cherished spaces with renovations and extensions, they're there for you every step of the way. With a dedicated team and a commitment to exceeding your expectations, Jason Westcott Builder is your partner in creating the home you've always envisioned. Visit them online with their galleries and begin your journey at Jason Westcott Builder.
Here's the picture. Picture Art Plus and Bendigo City Framers are now one massive business offering you even greater opportunities. Enjoy the same fantastic staff and service that brings your innovative designs to life. You can frame your memories or explore other stunning artwork. Plus there's wall art, framing options and convenient parking right at the door. Fresh sponsor located at 88 Garcead Street, Bendigo on the corner of Arthur Street. Got the picture?
If you use public transport, you've probably already downloaded our Community Radio Plus app, so you can enjoy this station on your commute. But a few listeners, like Sue here, hi Sue, do I know you still haven't got around to doing it? Phone please. Okay. See, now what you can do is you can listen to us on the go and help support us by sharing the station with your friends. It is that button there. Oh wow, thanks. No worries. So, get on board and download the Community Radio Plus app for yourself.
Doing it for our community. Local first. Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Final quarter sponsored by Lauki Flour Mills. Thanks to local footy sponsor, more live Bendigo football. And now it's time to fire up delicious Don Footy Franks. They're made for the footy. Is Don, is good.
Live 25, fresh Bendigo interleague football. Bendigo taking on the Victorian Amateur Football Association, and it has been a terrific game of footy. End-to-end quality contest, and at three-quarter time, the Amateur Football Association lead it by 1 goal, 9-7-61 to 8-7-55. However, Bendigo do have a strong breeze at their back in the final term, but they didn't really utilise it too much in that last quarter, the VAFA, so it'll be interesting to see what Bendigo does with it in this final quarter. But one thing's for sure, Paddy, is this will be going right down to the wire. Myself, Cam Power, Paddy Grinley, Derek Philo and Cal Cummins and John Hunter at ground level, bringing you all the action here from the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Paddy, you got some very interesting stats there, thanks to Premier Data, one of our sponsors as well, and really concerning stats there for the amateurs.
Yeah, correct. Cam, 99 disposals to 72 in that third term for the Bendigo Footy League against the Breeze. I'll look at the mark stats, 37 to 18 again to the home squad, the blue and gold, 32 to 15 uncontested grabs, so that's really important. They've just been able to control possession into the Breeze, also winning the hit-outs in the centre of the ground, 13 inside 50s to 7 in that third term into the Breeze. So that'll give, I think, Simon Rosa and his coaching group just a real boost going into this final term. They're first to break from the huddle. They know what they need to do is just allow the wind to help you where you can and control possession of the footy, and that's going to prove difficult for the VAFA to handle. They won that quarter, the Ammos, 15 points to 14. When you compare it to the first term, where they also enjoyed the wind.
I'll just come over the top there. Paddy. Got Simon Rosa, the coach of Bendigo. What was the message there for the final term?
Oh, we've got ourselves in a position to be really proactive in this last quarter, so really just encourage the boys to go after the game. Okay, we've had times where we've slowed the ball up really when we want to be defensive and done that really well. I think the breeze has probably dropped a little bit now. That's what it feels like out on the ground, but I just want the boys to go after it and win the game, win it well.
All the best, mate.
Cheers.
Thanks very much there, Johnny Hunter. Yeah, really interesting contest, this one. Let's go over to Cal Cummins. He's got the assistant coach of the VAFA, Hugo Higginbotham.
Yeah, John here, but assistant coach of the big side, Hugo Higginbotham. Hughes, 1 quarter play. How you feeling?
Yeah, we're really excited about this one. This is what we wanted. Come down to the wire, away from home. It's what it's all about.
Breeze against you. Any structural changes?
Oh, I know we'll be looking to lower our eyes going forward a little bit. You've got to play for a bit of luck. But, look, we've trained for this. It's a great ground, suits us really well. But we'll just see how we go, how it plays out.
There's rain in 10 minutes. Is that going to change anything yet also?
It's going to change where I watch the game from. I'm going up in the grandstand. I'm not getting wet.
No worries. Take care, mate.
Seasoned media professional is Hugo Higginbotham. Thanks to Cal Cummins and Johnny Hunter for the insights of the coaches at the 3-quarter time break. 61 plays 55. There's rain coming. The skies are overcast. We're set for a thriller. Cam Power with the bounce of the ball.
So the final quarter underway. 1 goal in it. Crisp got the first hands on the ruck. Bendigo will look to get it out to Tarju. Find out the handball to Fallon, who come charging off half back. Back to Tarju. They've gone 20 metres backwards though, Bendigo. But it comes to Roberts, who just got the kick away in time. Into the middle of the ground. He found Brody Haddo, who's been very productive this afternoon, Brody Haddo. He can come out to Strosh if he wants to. Didn't spot him. Sends a longer kick inside forward 50. And what do I know? Because Bode Stevens was in all sorts of space there. Terrific pass to hit him up. And he marks it 50 out from goal. And he puts the mouthguard in the sock, pulls the socks up and says, I'm going back to kick it. But even if he doesn't kick it, sneaking it in for a point at this stage, it could be a handy point, just getting it outside that 1 goal margin.
One thing I want to see from Bode Stevens today, I'm told he's got a decent leap on him, so maybe something before the final turn bell.
Just inside the 50 and he releases the kick for goal. It's going to go right to the line. It hits the post. That would have been a magnificent start for Bendigo, but their lead now goes back to 5 points. 1 minute gone in the final quarter. The amateurs will bring the ball back into play.
So Ligris has Linehan short. He has Bok Malonga. He's going to go for the former and his skipper, and then get the footy back, Ligris, through left half back. Racked up a fair few touches. Wants Mickey Nichols down the line on the second attempt. He takes it. Important that Mickey Nichols can start to pluck a few for those long bailout kicks as the Amos try and force it into that dying breeze. It's Simon Rose, a reference. He kicks into Fallon, the man on the mark. Nichols will go again, has the footy now. Tries to knock himself loose, loses control. Back inside 50, go the Bendigo Footy League. Into the hands of Lockie Hood. He's going to sit it up. He's got a leaper from behind. Front spot owned by the Amos. Hartley, 2 goods. This would put them in front. He's directly in front, 25 metres out, Michael Hartley. He's got a chance at his second of the day.
You've got to come back to the Kobe Maxted tackle before here, I reckon, Derek. That was a magnificent tackle.
It was. It just gave us a chance at a inside 50, so...
He puts it through, does Hartley. No mucking about. The Bendigo Footy League 62 lead the Amos 61. Our score sponsor Don Small Goods is Don is good. Live 25 local fresh footy. And with the breeze, the Bendigo Footy League hit the front the 2.5 minute mark of the final term. There's a lot to play out, but they seem the favourite here on out, I'd suggest, Derek Philo.
Yeah, look, they've probably been the better side for the last 2 and a bit quarters, haven't they? So, they've just got to push it home now. Maybe, just get some deep entries, as we've seen. Hearts and that are very dangerous down forward.
Plenty of options inside that forward line. The Amos can move the ball like they were in the first quarter. They're just as dangerous. Ball up in the middle. Sheridan got hands to it. Spills out wide. It'll come in the direction of Bockma. Bockma's forced to go backwards, but it was a nice handball backwards there to McGlashan. McGlashan used space. Sent it inside forward 50. Came off hands. Inside they go through Bustleton, who just didn't quite get clean possession of it. And the umpire's called play on. Lockie Hood made the tackle. Thought it was holding the ball there. Or Matt Fewings. I think a few players stopped thinking it was holding the ball as well there, but the umpire called play on. So just inside 50, we'll have a ball up. Knocked down. Tracking after the footy, unable to really take any clean position though was McGlashan. Handballed it to a teammate under all sorts of pressure who was tackled straight away, and we'll have a ball up just inside forward 50, the Barnard Street end of the ground, which is the end the Victorian Amateur Football Association are going to in this final quarter.
1 point ball game. The last 5 goals of this game have heralded lead changes. It's been a close run thing. Here go the Bendigo Footy League, tight roping the boundary commentary side. The kick is ahead, reaching above his head, Maxted. Neutral territory handball. It was just a little bit behind his teammate there in Lockie Hood, and it falls apart momentarily for the Bendigo Footy League. Maxted tries to set it right. Tardrew takes the mark and plays on. Handball over the top, Hood. 60 metres from goal, Hood. Lowers the ice and hits a charging target inside 50. Harvey takes the mark, 35 metres out, 45-degree angle, right half forward. An opportunity for his second of the afternoon, and to give the Bendigo Footy League a 7-point buffer. Derek Philo, I love how Maxted didn't give up after his early gaff.
No, it was just good ball movement all the way through, picked the right option, and we got a shot on goal here.
So South Bendigo flyer, Brock Harvey. I suppose where his teammate Hartley is a very quick operator from the set shot. He's slow and methodical. Harvey, no, it fades late and misses to the right-hand side. 2-point ball game, 63 plays 61. Our score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh footy.
It's really an interesting point to note that some players prefer just to get back and take the quick as quickly as they can. And players like Brock Harvey, very, got their technique down pat. So, couldn't think of the word I was looking for there, but the routine is down to a T. So, ball just waiting to be brought back from over the fence, and it is now. They'll bring it into play. They'll come down the grandstand side wing. Short pass. Not sure that Will Bockman knew much about it, but he had to dive in and take the mark at the last second. He then handballs it back to where it came. They'll step one way then the other. The kick's going to hover right on the boundary line, and Tom Strosh gets in and takes a terrific grab. Might have been out of bounds on the full either way, but Strosh takes it. He wheels it into the hot spot. Hartley's got the fly. He got up, just couldn't quite take the mark. It spills to ground level. They handball backwards to Bendigo, trying to find their way through. Tardrew's handball went backwards, but it's only advantage. Will Nichols paddles it forward for the Ammos. It then comes out to, there was Sheridan. Might have been taken without the footy. They'll send the ball straight in the middle of the ground, but it's going to come straight back in the hands of Lockie Wright. Inside forward 50 they go. No mark taken by Sheridan, who flew for it. Spills to ground. Tardrew's got space. He's got time. He's able to fend off a tackle. He'll send it towards goal, but an intercept mark on the last line of defence for the Amateurs. And they just have to steady a little bit here. They're under all sorts of pressure at the moment.
Just jumping in, gents. Sorry, we have got rain down here at ground level.
Oh dear, that's going to change this game a bit. 63 playing 61. Bendigo with a 2-point lead. Ned Nichols went looking behind himself for McGlashan. The handball was away.
You were pretty accurate down there, Cal. You said it was going to be about 10 minutes away. You've got to 6.5 minutes.
He's our weatherman, resident Cal Cummins, the Prince of Brighton that he is. 63, 61. 6.5 gone. Just starting to see some droplets on our window here at the QEO. So that rain is here. Buzzertool at ground level from the restart. Charges away. Would think about a bounce. Kicks it long down the swimming pool end. Reaper backing back. It goes further. The Bendigo Footy League will intercept. The eyes go for the pass into the corridor, but instead it's going to be a kick further down the wing. So just taking some sting out. That kick coming from Ethan Roberts, who's been dominant in the back half for the Golden Blue. Further along down the line, they'll move it forward. Now the kick comes inside 50 into the forward pocket. Ligorous backing back for the Ammos. It'll carry him. Green's there. Ligorous there. They need to try and rush it here. The Ammos are soccer off the ground and misses to the right-hand side. Harvey, I think it was. They are pressing desperately on Antonowitz. He misses. 64, 61. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers, Live 25 local fresh footy. Sorry,
regular Bendigo football viewers would be not surprised to know that was Caden Antonowitz. He has a habit of doing freaky things like that. And just anywhere around goals, he's very dangerous. Kick out of defence, goes out of bounds for a boundary throw in. 55 out from goal. Who needs a big last quarter here, Derek?
Well, I'd like to see Lockie Tardrew get a bit of it, which he has all game, obviously, but we just need one of our forwards to just run hot for a couple of minutes and we could put the game to bed.
Like it's going to go right down to the wire. The Ammos will try and emerge with the footy. Good, strong tackle being laid. And in fact, it's actually been pinned for a dangerous tackle on Ben Thompson, who, it was Jordan Bussetool who got it. Didn't think there was a lot in that one, but Bussetool's able to go with a short pass to McGlashan. McGlashan will go back to where it came. but this time it is in the hands of Matthew Clarkson. He's even shorter pass again. They're really on this verge of the 15-metre pass at the moment, the Ammos. They'll wheel it through the middle of the ground. That kick come there from Horsfall. Now they've got the run. Inside forward 50 they'll go. Terrific kick up towards centre half forward. Mark taken by Boston Dowling. Kicked a big goal in that last quarter, did Boston Dowling. He's 50 metres out, directly in front.
He does have a massive kick on him, Boston Dowling. This would take his absolute best, though.
Looks like he's going to back himself.
Yep.
The big fella. Boston Dowling from Old Trinity. 3 games in Collingwood's VFL side this year. For his second goal of the day. In what would be a big moment to give the Ammos back the lead. From 50. He launches it. It's going to fall 5 metres short. It'll be a big pack of players at ground level. They'll all dive on top of this one and we'll get a ball up right on the top of the goal square. A little bit anticlimactic there, but it's at the right end of the ground if you're a fan of the Big V.
He just left it a little bit high, Boston Dowling, so it dropped a lot in its last few metres of flight. He'll take the ruck work 10 metres out from goal. The Ammo's still a chance, although the Bendigo Footy League again, it's that man Roberts who forces it through the right back pocket. It's a high tumbling kick that goes broadcast side, backing back Ligris bravely for the Ammos. He takes the mark and wants to go into the centre, although it's going to be called back here. Not sure what the go was. I think Ligris might have had maybe some treatment late, or an injured player, sorry, yes. So I'm not quite sure who that is. It's being held up, yeah. Doesn't look great, actually. We'll check in with Cal Cummins in just a few moments.
I think Boston knew what was going on. He was leading and demanding the footy, wondering why no one was going with him. Everyone else has stopped and he was screaming for the footy.
Cal Cummins, we might try and get down to you. Can you pick out the play that's coming off, holding the back of their head?
Yeah, not just at the minute, Jen. Come back in about 10 or so seconds when he's going to come to the interchange gates, which does still make him eligible to come back on if he is to, but he's in a lot of discomfort here, holding the back of his neck, you're right.
Looks like he's also being held up straight as well, leaning on towards the trainer there.
Yeah, it looks like it is Will Nichols out of the Old Melburnians, the vice-captain, so he's off the ground. So Ligris will take the kick, thanks Cal Cummins, goes into the left forward, half forward flank, and the kick was ill-directed and cut down by Vescovi, and again the Bendigo Footy League playing next to the boundary. And they're pretty happy for it to go over. It'll be thrown in between wing and half forward for the Ammos.
Did you see what happened, Cal? He was obviously off the ball.
Well, I was, like you guys, sort of focused on the play. I was almost directly in front of me here, so I was blindsided that one as well.
Can't have been anything too malicious, I wouldn't imagine, because we might have seen some sort of push and shove down there. Let's hope that he's okay. It's certainly never good to see a player holding themselves like that. But we'll continue on here. Ben Thompson threw his opponent off the ball when he didn't have it, so that'll be a free kick to Bussettle, who's just turning this game. He is an absolute star. He'll wheel and go with the right kick inside forward 50, and a big flying mark is taken by Michael Nichols. Terrific grab. 35 metres out in line with that left-hand goalpost, left-hand forward pocket. Terrific grab and an even better kick to get it to him.
Yeah, Michael Nichols, Mickey, usually in the long sleeves, today on the single. I'm not sure how comfortable he feels, but I mentioned a bit earlier in this game, in this quarter rather, that for the Ammos to get back into the contest, he needs to start taking some big clunks. That's exactly what Luke Marnie will be after.
So he comes in on the left, starts at left, it swings back with the breeze. The Ammos are back in front. 10-7-67, Bendigo 9-10-64. This has got all the markings of an absolute cracker. It's going right down to the wire. Score sponsor Parsons Towing, Castlemaine. Live 25, local fresh interleague footy is the voice of the great Derek Philo.
Yeah, full credit to the Ammos. They looked, probably 5 minutes ago, they looked like they were getting overrun, and they've worked themselves back into the game, and it's going to be a great finish, isn't it?
So 10 goals now to the Ammos, and if you're watching this game on stream, you might be able to pick up those raindrops that are now falling on the QEO. Another lead change. So the last 6 goals of this contest have signalled lead changes. We haven't had goals in sequence for one squad since the second term, which pretty much stands to tell you about this game fairly clearly, I would think. It's the Bendigo Footy League towards centre half forward, backing back on the chest, taking the grab. Horsefall. Other old Geelong player goes to his Ogs teammate in Nichols, who's got 2. And the last goal of the game, and working his way in the left footer, Buzzertle next to the chain. The kick carried him. Fisted into the air by Thompson. Buzzertle will go again. The handball got through. Smith of the Bendigo Footy League. Horsfall will track it of the Ammos on the chest. It bounced off at Green. Has Ablett with handball support. Ablett has it now. The handball too hot for Horsfall. Intercepted by Cooper Smith. 55 metres out to a 101. Hartley! No, fisted away. Taken by Lowry. Handballs through the goal square. Over for a rushed behind. 66-67. 1 point ball game here. Final term footy. Our score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh footy, 65-67. Rather, Cam, as Ablett has it through half back.
Yeah, the short pass came in from Ablett. The play before was really nice. I'm just not sure if Buster's probably the man you want to be putting the ball on his head at the minute. Ammos will work it in. Oh, that should be a free kick there to Michael Nichols, not paid. Ammos will work it further forward. Going back with the flight there was Riley Virtue, almost plucked it as well. Turnover for Bendigo. Reaper gets it, sends it out into space. The space is with Merritt. Merritt can track after it. He's got time. He's got some options over the top. Might have been better going for the kick, but he put a loopy handball over the top to Haddo instead, who just put him under all sorts of pressure by the time the ball got to him. Turnover. Ammos will roll it straight through the middle into the hands of Manasakis. He steps one way, then the other. Gives the handball off to a teammate and finds a nice kick to centre half forward. Mark taken, 50 out from goal. It's in the hands of Michael Nichols again. Short pass with a short pass. Beautiful pass. And it is marked 25 to 30 metres out directly in front of goal. And is it Hill? It is Hill. Terrific pass to Jackson Hill. 22 games from Sandringham's VFL team in 2023. 6 games in Brisbane's VFL team last year as well, before coming back up here to the amateurs. Might have been 2 years ago. But a terrific player. In he comes, lining up. Jackson Hill, he stabs at it, and it's not quite going to make the distance. In fact, it'll be a mark in the goal square, which would be rather disappointing.
Roberts again.
Yeah, Roberts has been superb, and he chips the pass to Cooper Jones.
So Jones through right half back. There's numbers out here for the blue and gold. The kick just might get too close to the boundary line. Nichols again. Mickey having a massive 5 minutes. Ensure that ball was going one place only, and that was only the boundary line. So 15 and a half gone in this fourth term. That rain now falling a touch heavier. Wet weather footy to finish. It's just been a wonderful representative game today. Buzzertle at ground level off the hands of Sheridan. Ties up Tardrew. Got a foot to the footy. Inches it forward 5 metres. They'll all fall atop the ball. It's desperate, willing stuff. Buzzertle ties it up beneath his green boots.
Guys, I've just noticed, well, Will Nichols of the Big B has re-emerged from the rooms to the bench. There may be the off chance he returns.
Thanks for that, Cal Cummins. Sheridan, Buzzertle at ground level, thrown to the deck. It'll be thrown up edge of the centre square. Broadcast side, 65 the Bendigo Footy League, 67 the Ammo, 16 and a half gone, final term.
It's about Nichols having a big 5 minutes. Who's going to be the player that steps up for their side and just turns the game? It is a day where it's made for someone just to completely turn the game on in these last few minutes. 2 point lead to the Ammo, 16 and a half played in the final quarter. Bendigo aided by the breeze, but it is starting to rain. The kick comes down in the direction of O'Shannessy, and he was being trapped by Ablett. Bald head running around out there. Looks like an Ablett, but no relation. So it'll be thrown in. Centre wing position. Could not be more central. The grandstand crowd watches on. I think the grandstand will be well and truly packed at the moment. Players gone down.
Tardrew and Virtue not happy.
Completely off the ball there. Brody Haddo, but he gets back up. Might have been playing a little bit full. I'm not sure there. Tackled it forward. Lockie Wright picked it up. Handball over the top to a teammate. Strong tackle made by Bendigo. Cooper Smith. Didn't quite see what happened there, but he certainly went down, holding himself there.
Virtue just a little, maybe a rib tickler just off the contest.
Roberts gets it, or bang it inside forward 50. Bode Stevens, I should say. Mark almost plucked down there by Luke Green. Couldn't quite control it. Numbers back there. It's going to be a soccer off the ground towards goal. Might have come, I reckon it was Lockie Hood, but he missed. And now we have a 1 point ball game. 17 and a half gone. Final quarter. The last quarter went for 28 minutes, and there still might be 5 to 10 minutes left in this contest. 1 point lead to the VAFA.
Just get comfortable for the next 10 minutes of footy. Clarkson towards us through left half back from too deep. Sheridan couldn't bring the ball down there. Green at ground level goes Bockma. He'll try and feed it out on hands and knees. He's got no handball target. He sucked the ball back in. It eventually comes loose the way of the Bendigo Footy League. Tardrew storms through. Handball target over the top. Merritt this way then the other. Snaps it to a dangerous spot. Ablett of the Ammos takes the footy now. Dragged off the footy. Umpire calls play on. It's frenetic stuff. Cleared the zone. Did the Ammos. Loose ball. Bockma on the arc of 50. Handball. Manasakis. Clevercamp on his knees. Feeds it through to Nichols. That's Will. Goes along the boundary line. Was looking there for a target in Wilson. He couldn't hold on. Maybe a free kick. Nothing forthcoming. It's Ned Nichols rather in that chain. Still no Will Nichols on the ground. And it makes its way over the line between the benches.
Shoved in the back there, and that probably should have been a free kick, I reckon.
The Albert Park Falcon made to work hard for his work today.
Although the umpires have been pretty consistent today, they have let a lot of those little 50-50 ones go. It's been pretty well displayed umpiring.
Been a wonderfully played game of footy. We'll read you the rules of the draw in just a few moments' time as McGlashan handballs this one out of bounds. It'll be thrown back in. So if it is a draw, to our listeners, we'll have 5 minutes of extra time plus time on in that period to decide a winner. So we have a grandstand finish set up for us. Of course, 2 years ago for the Big V men against the PFL at Elsternwick Park, we did actually have to have time on to decide the game of footy. So the Big V does enjoy itself a little bit of extracurricular activity as far as the game of footy is concerned.
Just what you want for your Sunday afternoon. Tardew emerges with the footy for Bendigo. He'll send it up towards centre half forward, tracking back nicely, and he just dropped the mark in the wet conditions there, did Horsful, but it was all eyes for the footy. Turned over though, Dust Larry gets it, sends it into the middle. Missed his target though, it'll be sent back inside by Tardew again. At the back, Fergus Green didn't quite take the mark, might have got a bit of body contact. They've let that play all day and they let it play again. Handball goes out wide in the direction of Green. They're hard up against the boundary line. Bendigo keep it alive. Handball inboard. Linehan, the captain of the VAFA side, puts a loopy handball up to Ablett. Ablett then handballs to Ned Nichols. It's wet where the footy at its absolute best. They'll work their way out. It was a hard contest. The rain starts teeming down here at the QEO. That's a big fly. Might have been a little bit unrealistic though. Got up on the shoulders. Didn't quite see it. Might have been Nichols again, who's having some sort of quarter. Bendigo will work the ball back into the middle. Marcus just held on to by Haddo. Gets it to Burke. Burke inside 50. O'Shaughnessy couldn't mark it. It'll be Hartley at the back. He taps it forward to O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy can go goalwards. He shakes the kick. Maxted drops the mark in the goal square. And the VAFA do everything to not concede a point to make it level. They drill the kick out towards the boundary line. Jeez, this game has got a little bit of everything at the moment. And Maxted, who has been so clean with his hands, dropped the mark.
Just
and what would have been in the goal
square.
square.
Sorry to cut you. He's been 5 minutes on the pine, could not get on now. He's got his opportunity to make this impact.
Jack O'Shaughnessy coming off the ground as well. Cal Cummins looking a bit lame, so they'll see to him on the Bendigo bench as it's tied up on the arc of 50. Left half forward, 66-67. The Ammos by a point, 21 minutes gone, final term action. It's hacked clear for the Big V along the boundary line. Clevercamp and pays there the two old Peninsula boys, and Clevercamp rages through. He's brought down like a bolting horse, but they got him. So Bendigo again. Once more inside 50. Driving rain at the QEO. Who can take the mark? The big fist, Linehan at ground level. Storming through and snapping. Harvey misses. Scores a level. 67-67. Score sponsor Aussie Disposals. Live 25, a local fresh footy. This has been an epic, Cameron Power.
It has been a terrific game of footy. The Ammos will bring the ball in. Short pass was dangerous. Ablett couldn't take the mark. It was knocked away. They soccer it into the middle of the ground off the deck looking for territory, but it falls into the hands of Lockie Wright. Wright gets some wheels. Sends it inside forward 50. Needs a mark. Almost got one from Antonowitz. Some appeals for holding. Not given. Ball spills to the back. Ammos keep it alive. Strong tackling in there. And, well, we're going to get a throw in right on the boundary line.
I think Fewings went hunting. I think Fewings went hunting for the high contact free, and Tardrew wasn't too impressed by the effort.
Very well could have been holding the ball for the tackle prior to that though as well. 67 apiece, 22 and a half played in the final quarter. We'll get a time check in a second there. Throw down. Merging with the footy is the Ammos. They'll clear the kick out of there. No one able to really get too much clean possession. They go backwards. It's in the hands of Jack Fallon. Fallon's little dribbling pass is hard up against the boundary line. Amos keep it alive though. They're going to get some time and space to clear it, but the kick was smothered. So the ricochet is bouncing around like a pinball down there. Emerging with the footy would be Roberts. Roberts will send it into the hot spot. It might fall for Hartley. Hartley can try and get boot the ball. The tackle was absolutely magnificent. And he's been pinned holding the ball. If that is not a captain's moment in a big game, I don't know what is. Linehan might have just saved the day for his side.
23 minutes gone. Can't be long left. Linehan last line. Just dumps it into the breeze. Blue and gold representation. Nichols nearly a screamer from Mickey. Raging forward. Still the Bendigo Footy League. Past Sheridan. Into the goal square. Hartley misses. Bendigo in front. 68-67. 23 and a half gone. The VAFA needs to go end to end. Hasn't been a high scoring quarter. Just the 2 goals. Plenty of stoppages, not long left. Our score sponsor, Aussie Disposals, Live 25, local fresh footy. Clarkson from the last line. The Ammos will throw everything at these last few minutes.
3.5 minutes to go in the game. Clarkson charges out of defence, sends it down the grandstand side wing. Mark almost taken there by Nichols, who has been magnificent in this quarter. It was knocked away from him by Haddo. If you're Bendigo, you'd probably nearly rather a point in that situation. It forces the ball down this end.
Seeing numbers go spare as well behind the footy cam to try and shore up this lead.
It looks like Cooper Jones playing a loose roll down there behind. Throw in right in front of us, broadcast position. 60 out from the Bendigo goal. Knocked down, but it only favours Bendigo there through Haddo. Haddo to Tarju, taken over the boundary line. It was Riley Virtue that didn't take too much of a possession to really drive him into the fence there, which was nice. He knew the ball was going to just trickle over.
If you're the Ammos, you've got to try and get this ball into the corridor. Quickest way home into the breeze. All the Rovers at the feet of Sheridan rather than behind him. He's got to try and flick it behind himself and find some clean footy, the Ogs big man. It does go behind the rucks. Sheridan handballs into the corridor. Here they go. Shot out of the cannon across half-back is Horsefall. His kicks skew if off the boot. Pays will track it down. Swimming pool wing, neutral territory. It skips away from him. Roberts with it. Pays inside 50. Reaper in a one-on-one. The VAFA player fell to ground. A free kick. And Hill. Jackson Hill.
On Reaper, I reckon.
A free kick against Reaper for a hold.
Got to come back here. Roberts slipped over and the feet was kept there by Pays. That's what made the difference there. Pays holding his feet was what was the big difference to get that ball going inside forward 50.
He hasn't kicked a goal, Jackson Hill. He missed an opportunity earlier in this quarter. He is 40 metres out. He has a 45-degree angle to contend with from right half forward. Jackson Hill out of Ormond onto the shoe. He's missed and we are level once more. 68 apiece. 5-minute period of extra time plus time on if the siren sounds now. Fallon, the left footer from the last line, will take the kick.
So 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Fallon just goes with a barrel straight down the middle. Needs to find a mark. Maxted presented it, took a terrific grab in the middle. Maxted can get and go. A 50 penalty. So it's a 50-metre penalty. The crowd erupts here at the QEO. Maxted got and wheeled quickly.
Tom Wilson in the protected zone.
Oh no, that's a huge moment in the game. And Maxted will line up from 45 metres out, directly in front, to give Bendigo the league. Any score will do. What a moment. Wasn't it? Yeah, it's a hard 50, but Wilson, as I said, was in the protected area. So Maxted will load. He'll kick from right on the paint of 50. The crowd will tell you the story here at the QEO. 27 gone. He might not have the distance.
It's out of
the accuracy. He's kicked it on the full. Oh, what more could this game bring? A score, any score would have done, but he's put it on the full.
Thomas Wilson is the happiest man on the field right now.
What more could this game throw at us?
This has been, quite frankly, ridiculous. Ligorous to Buzzertil, right half back. The Ammos, they work it through. It's hacked down the wing by Jimmy Allen. Into the hands, though, of the Bendigo Footy League. Crisp. One last chance, maybe. When's the kick going to go inside 50? It's by hand at the moment. That'll suit Jimmy Allen just fine. And the old Camberwell skipper ties it up 60 metres from the Bendigo goal. 68 apiece, 27 and a half gone. How long is left in this game of footy? Sheridan in the ruck going manfully against Crisp as he has all day. It'll roll around the bootlaces. The umpire stops it and will throw it up. We're 65 metres from home. for the Bendigo Footy League faithful. They are 9-14-68, the VAFA 10-8-68. We are locked. Kick inside 50 for Bendigo. One-on-one horsefall for the Amos. Went through his hands. On the outside, snapping on goal. Harvey into the square. It bounces. Hartley and Linehan and out of bounds. Out of bounds. Left forward pocket. It'll be thrown in 15 metres out from goal. Any score will do for the gold and blue.
Hartley was doing everything to try and tap that through the points, but he was unable to do so. We're into the final minute and the scores are tied. 9-14 playing 10-8. What a game of footy it's been in these wet conditions. They need to clear it out here, the Amos. Little short pass came out of there from Bokma. Tarju got it. Burke then trying to emerge through was Antonowitz. He couldn't quite get it to a teammate, and they will be happy to see it over the boundary line, I reckon, here. The Amos will reset inside the final minute. Scores level. What a game of footy we have been treated to this afternoon. Anyone that says interleague footy is dead clearly would not have been here today. This has been magnificent. Two leagues showcasing everything. Flying shot will come from... Touched off the boot. Mark not paid. It was touched off the boot. Antonowitz claimed it. That's what the crowd went nuts for. Not paid. We'll try again. Right from the top of the square. Ball up. Bendigo doing everything. It's like a rugby scrum in there as they try to charge forward. Ben Ablett's at the bottom of the pack. See if you can get us out of this. 15 metres out for the Bendigo goal. Must be mere seconds left in this game of footy. Any score will do. Bokma tries to tie it up for the Amos, does so. Another stoppage. We are 15 metres out directly in front of goal. Almost in punch-through territory here for the Golden Blues. 68 apiece, 29 and a half now gone. It's Lowry. We are tied. We are going to extra time at the QEO. 68-68. They can't be split through 4 quarters of frenetic, pulsating football. It's going to need extracurricular activity to get us a result here today. 68-68. The Bendigo Footy League 9-14. The VAFA 10-8-68. It was the Amos who led it by 26 points at quarter time. My goodness, this has been a remarkable result. Johnny Hunter, your thoughts? We'll get back to Johnny Hunter in just a few moments' time. Johnny, might have to get you up.
Now, the situation is that the teams have to remain out on the ground. The coaches are allowed to address the players, and there will be a toss to see who goes to what end. Now, obviously, the city end is the end to kick to, albeit that's wet.
Or is it 2 quarters?
Just 1 quarter of 5 minutes, and there will be time on in that period of time.
Okay. Thanks, Johnny Hunter, doing a manful job. I might try and get down to Cal Cummins, who probably has the mood of both coaches as things stand. It's pouring with rain at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Cal, how's the emotion?
It is crazy, absolutely sent.
These teams will kick. He'll be joined now by Linehan. This is important because the wind is blowing to the right of your radio dial, or the right of your picture, towards the Bendigo City end of the QEO. But as we've heard from both coaching units, it has died down. But if you're the captain and you win this toss, you are kicking to the right-hand side. The most important toss of the coin that we have seen in some weeks. Cam Power, call us the action.
So, they'll give play-by-play on the toss. The umpire tosses the coin in the air. They both look down at it. And it is won by Bendigo. Jack Reaper wins the toss of the coin. It might be his most important win of the day. And he'll kick to the Bendigo end. 5 minutes of extra time to settle has been an absolute epic of interleague football. So if we're still tied at the end of this 5 minutes, do we roll another 5 minutes? Do we keep going, or what stage do we
I'd
call it?
presume so.
1 5 minute quarter. So
and then if we're tied, we're tied. That's it. We share the points.
If it's drawn again.
Good question. All right. We might be producing on the run here in the commentary box at the QEO. Bear with us as we bear with this ridiculous game of football. So conditions, Cal Cummins. It is hosing down now. The ground is wet. The footballs are wet. The players' boots are wet. So we're going to see some desperate contested footy. Over the course of this game, that's probably favoured the Bendigo Footy League.
It has, and it's sort of transitioned into that sort of style of game that we're starting to see now. So the players have had a little bit of a taste of how wet it is out there, and as I mentioned, I was down there at boundary level before. As you mentioned, it is chucking it down, and we've just got the confirmation. If scores remain level after the extra time period, the timekeepers shall not sound the siren until a team has scored. It is a golden score after that 5 minutes plus time on.
That's what this game deserves today.
All I'm going to say is...
a golden goal if we get past 5 minutes.
Golden score.
Golden
score.
Golden
So
score.
a point as well.
Thank goodness for these lights, because we could be here for some time.
So a golden point.
Our last goal of the game, gentlemen, was at the 12-minute mark of the final term when Mickey Nichols put the VAFA in front. Then we had behinds the whole way down. So let's go through the goal kickers as we take a breath and get prepared for this extra time period. We'll start with the home squad, the Bendigo Footy League 3. This man's been superb. Kobe Maxted's kicked the 3. Hartley with 2, Green with 2, singles for Harvey and Antonowitz. And then for the VAFA, Mickey Nichols with 2, Matt Fewings with 2, both in the first quarter. Pays, McGlashan, Buzzertool, Will Nichols, Dowling and Virtue, the single goal scorers for the blue and white, celebrating 100 years of the Big V, the VAFA, in a very fitting fashion with a thrilling game of football against the Bendigo Footy League. Cam Power, my voice is going to be giving out, I'd imagine, the next 10 minutes. How's yours doing?
Yeah, it might be a struggle, so who knows, we could get to that stage where it becomes golden score, golden point. I wonder if the players know that.
They probably don't, as we did.
No. Because I'm thinking if it gets to that stage and then all of a sudden there's a score and the siren sounds, it'll be absolute bedlam out there. So it'll be interesting to see how this final plays out. Tarju straight into the middle, Crisp in the middle, gun players everywhere, Busseltool in the middle for the VAFA. Sheridan's gone into the ruck for the VAFA. Ned Nichols is in the middle as well. He's been magnificent this afternoon. Also going in there for Bendigo will be Brody Haddo, who's been a bull in the middle this afternoon.
Right.
So Haddo, Tarju, Crisp, and it looks like maybe Cooper Smith, I reckon, might be the other player in there. So we'll get a ball up to start the final term. VAFA will take the first ball out of the middle. They're going to the Barnard Street end. Flying kick up towards forward 50, not taken. And we'll repeat a ball up right on the paint of 50. What a game of footy. I reckon we'll be doing short, sharp changes in these next 5 minutes.
Just tuning in, 68 apiece for an extra time. We have 5 minutes of play plus time on. If that doesn't separate the teams, then we have a golden point territory and no siren. The Ammos, Buzzertool has just been imperious. Inside 50, the kick skipped off hands. Bailey Pays, outside of the right boot. Bailey Pays!
What a goal.
He is a superstar, this man! And he lifts the Big V single-handedly in the left forward pocket. The outside of the right boot, he rolled it home. The VAFA in front by one straight kick. It's Pays the pirate out of Old Peninsula. Cutlass between the teeth. He puts the Big V in front.
He just compose and finish from a position like that, Cal.
Crazy that finish in these conditions. Just the ball slid and slid and slid. Still be able to control the roll of the ball through the sticks. What an important goal that is. We're only going to play another probably 5 minutes of raw time from here. That is imperative for this contest.
Well, you'd expect the amateurs will just throw everyone behind the footy here, but they're going to get another centre clearance here. Ned Nichols, but it goes 20 metres high and only 5 metres forward. Out towards the wing. Picked up though. Worked out okay here for Busseltool. He's been absolutely superb. Fires it inside forward 50. Intercept mark for Bendigo will be taken. They'll wheel and go. Down the poolside wing. Tarju the target. Didn't quite take the mark. Spills to ground level. Ammos were clean. Emerging with the footy there was McGlashan. Found a teammate with a handball forward. You just feel like they only have to score one more time. They're not going to do so off this passage of play because of holding the ball. Free kick has been pulled. It's in the hands of Cooper Smith, who chips the short pass rather dangerously to Jack Fallon, who was sliding in.
Got to go central here, the Bendigo Footy League. Fallon's a left footer. He's going to bite off a short pass into the corridor. Or maybe didn't hit it as he desired. Tracking back Ned Nichols. The kick goes inside 50 haphazardly for the Bendigo Footy League. It's dribbling around. Lowry's there. Here comes Hartley. Has the ball. Steps around. Green. Goal! Oh! He's hit the post.
Brock Harvey was in the goal square and he let it bounce.
Did the team thing.
He just had to grab the ball.
69-74, VAFA by 5 points. Score sponsor Parsons Towing, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Harvey was genuinely in the goal square. He grabs the ball and goals, he lets it bounce and it hits the goal
Did
post.
the completely unselfish thing,
Secure
you're right.
supporters. It's Stephen Milne in the grand final of 2010 all over again.
Don't go there.
Unbelievable stuff. Thrown out of here. The Spammers work it out to Pays. Pays shrugs the tackle. Goes inboard. Nice handball taken away by Matt Nichols. They'll wheel it up to centre half forward. Cooper Smith overran the footy, which invited Riley Virtue, but he's paddling. He was shoved off the footy by Lockie Wright. It was all legal, but the Ammos have still got possession. They'll wheel it up towards centre half forward. Clean pick up off the ground there from Michael Nichols. Inside forward 50 they go. Bendigo need to turn this ball over and get it moving up the other end. They don't. The Ammos pick up the footy. They'll roll in and go goalwards. It's a chance for James Allen, and he misses. But it is an important miss. 6 points the difference. 3.5 gone in extra time, which is 5-minute period of extra time. And if we're not separated after 5 minutes plus time on, we will go to golden score.
So a goal and 2 behinds, which is important because the clock would have stopped a couple of times. We're at 3 minutes and 40 seconds elapsed. You'd think 3 minutes remain. Maxted down the line, marks. Edge of the centre square, commentary wing. Darting the eyes to the corridor, nothing's there for Maxted. He'll just give it his all. He didn't hit the kick at all well. Sheridan goes diving like a goalkeeper. Pass the ball. Linehan will track it. Wants the bounce. Manasakis rather wants the bounce. Didn't have it. Oh, it's out of bounds with the full off the shoe of Rosengren.
That last kick from Maxted, his boot actually went flying. That was why the kick was bad. The boot nearly went further than the ball.
He's got his boot and he's, I think, run off the ground as well to get that one back on. So free kick taken here by the Ammos. The intersection of the 50-metre arc and the boundary line, left half back.
Yeah, wrong time in the game to have a shoe malfunction there. Kick down the line. Crisp went up, couldn't quite take the mark. It's picked up. Bailey Pays, who was taken straight away. You heard the crowd pealing for holding the ball.
There could be a phase as well in the dying seconds where we might be in that 5-minute plus time one period of extra time and we don't know about it. Because there's no siren.
So Haddo gets the ball, handball off to Bodie Stevens, who sends it inside forward 50, and it's an important punch from Luke Green to knock it over the boundary line. But Bendigo will get a stoppage reset on the paint of 50, trailing by a goal. We're just about to hit the 5th minute, but it is time on in this quarter, so there may be a minute or two remaining. There has been a goal and a few points in this game. Knocked down, taken high in the tackle, there was Bockma, and he will receive the free kick. It was hard not to spot that one. He was just low and hard at the footy, and there wasn't much that Michael Hartley did wrong, but he just got him a little bit high.
Yeah, so Bockma knows the task now. Long and high and towards the boundary line. Mickey Nichols flies. The fist came over the top. Chris palms it forward. Manasakis is there. As is there. Nichols has slipped over. Got the handball away. They want the boundary. The Ammos, they'll get it. Right in front of the Bendigo Footy League bench. Saw player in front of us. Looks like Brody Haddo, but he's okay to continue on. So between wing and half forward then. Nichols is saw again. That's Ned. Trainer with him. He waves him off. Chance for a troop change. Back on the ground runs Ben Thompson. 80 metres from the Bendigo goal, 69-75. 6 minutes gone in extra time. 5 minutes plus time on. Buzzertil tracks it towards the boundary line. Over the white line it goes. Looking behind the footy, the spare has been rolled back for the VAFA. Luke Green is the man with no opponent. He's sitting some 15 metres out from the Bendigo goal.
Just feel it has to be from this clearance if Bendigo to get the goal and send it into golden score territory. Boundary umpire will hurl the ball back in. Right in front of Simon Rosa watching on, the coach of the Bendigo Footy League. Free kick pull. Going to Bendigo. Callum Crisp was infringed in the ruck. So Crisp's got it. He quickly wheels on the boot. Sends a high one inside forward 50. Needs someone to mark it. Green decides to go the double punch to get it out of there, which works out all right. But the handball came to a target who was tackled straight away. It falls to Bodie Stevens. Stevens sends it in the Fergus Green direction. He couldn't quite mark it. Tracking backwards. He's dived over the boundary line like a rugby player looking for a try. Appeals for deliberate, appeals for insufficient intent. Nothing coming. Wowee, what a game of footy.
This is right where you want the ball to be if you're Bendigo. Dangerous, dangerous time for the Big V.
So who's getting on the move? I'm watching Tardrew, I'm watching Fergus Green. Sheridan and his bootlaces. Tardrew is through, kicking on goal and missing.
He's missed it.
And missing. 5-point ball game, 7 minutes gone in extra time. It's one straight kick now for Bendigo. Golden Point looking unlikely. Ligris last line. 70-75. Our score sponsor Parsons Towing, Live 25 local fresh footy.
Yes.
5-point ball game.
I think that rules out the potential draw, though. It's either going to be a Bendigo win or a VAFA win. They'll wheel the kick out of defence. Big fly, not taken. There was Michael Nichols, and then it falls into the hands of Sheridan, who's happy to hold it up. Either way, there will be some exhausted boys at the end of this one. Crisp in the ruck, knocked it down, taken away by the VAFA. Handball just didn't find its way out, but they're still bustling around. James Allen using the old Collingwood tactics of just paddling the ball and keeping it in play to not force a stoppage. Because the more seconds they click off the clock, the better. Taken away. Antonowitz kept it alive. Might have been better putting that one over because it works out the Ammos. It'll come into the hands of Busselton, who just wheels a kick as long as he can out of there. But here's Bendigo's chance to reset.
Cooper Jones by hand to Burke. Seconds remaining, you'd think. The kick over the head of Clarkson inside 50. Green first to it of the Ammos. He's got 5 metres of space. Green needs to pick it up, does so. And the Ammos have won it. 5 minutes. We've got another 5 minutes, all right. So we're going halves, which we've just found out.
We were told that it was the end.
We've just found out we are going halves.
We're going again.
We're going again. All right then.
How's the scenery?
I'm more than happy to go again here.
Johnny Hudson shrugging his shoulders at me, producing on the run. Here we go. We are struggling deluxe at the QEO. Oh boy!
Another 5 minute bit of that.
That might get clipped up. I reckon.
Obviously,
should this go another way.
By the looks of this, there's no coaches, no huddle. It's just straight into the other end.
Into position.
So the players were aware of it. The commentators perhaps not. So 70 plays 75, halfway through extra time.
I'm glad you had the final second then, and not me, Paddy. Wow, who would want more footy? Who wouldn't want more footy, especially of this absolute quality?
I reckon I'm going to be very popular down back to the centre of the ground
especially
for the second portion of
especially
extra
if
time.
the Ammos happen to get beaten, you've called them the win. But anyway, the second period of added time, Tardew emerges with the footy. He just wheels it out of there, got to the space, goes looking for Jack O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy kept it in front of him, then he tracks after it. He then slipped over at the important moment. Ammos have got the numbers in defence. They'll work their way out of there through Lowry. Lowry's handball was good. And now they can just try and compose themselves. But the kick into the middle was not great. Turnover. It'll be Callum Crisp who wheels it up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Lurking down there though was Harvey. It's just going to paddle around at the top of the 50. Apologies for that. We were told that it was only going to be 1 5-minute period here in the box. But no one was really predicting a draw. So we're kind of making it up as we go, I reckon, here. Ball in. Ball up, I should say. Bendigo work it forward, but they're unable to take any clean possession, but they did gain important territory there. 50 out from goal. All around this one. Chris knocks it down. Slipped over as he went to kick it, did Tommy Strosh, but it was looking like it was going to go goalwards. Ammos will be happy to lock it into play though. Eventually they'll emerge with the footy. High ball out of defence. It'll be to a 2-on-1 situation. Vescovi didn't get the bounce he was after, but he still tracked after it, and he put his body on the line as Jackson Hill absolutely clattered into him. And that just shows what this game means to these two sides. Terrific contest. We'll have a throw in, 60 out from goal. Ammos in attack, heading towards the Bendigos to the end, leading by 5 points, second period of extra time.
Righto, so 5 minutes plus time on, 2 halves of that. You've got that bedded down now, so the Ammos to the right of your radio dial. The Bendigo Footy League to the left. Tardrew through the contest. We're playing on the 50-metre arc of the Ammos. Big tackle laid by Pays. Battling in the defensive half here. The Bendigo Footy League over and out. Maybe off the shoe. Appealing there was Virtue. Nothing forthcoming from the boundary umpire. Ethan Roberts will trot back to his defensive post. He's the man with Bailey Pays, who was the only goal of this extra time. Short sort of 2-half period as the ball is thrown in 55 metres out from the Ammos goal. Tardrew may be held on to. Allen's waiting for the handball on the outside. Should McGlashan get it loose? He might have dragged us in, has Hugo, and the umpire agrees he's gone. Free kick going the way of Callum Crisp, and he'll look to handball it off. He has played on Crisp, so he'll just kick it up the chimney.
So Crisp, he faked the handball and then he didn't give it. The umpire called him to go. Turnover, inside forward 50. Bussetall will send it in. Going back, Roberts dropped the mark. He probably should have taken it. He's just socketed it straight over the boundary line. Are we going to see it paid? Wow. I've been demanding all year it should be paid, and we get to this big moment, it doesn't get paid. Inside forward 50, Riley Virtue finds the player 25 metres out, directly in front almost, slightly to the right of the goals, but he's going to take all of his 30 seconds and go back Is it Allen, I think, that's got the ball?
Yep.
Jimmy Allen.
Not a massive goal kicker, Jimmy Allen.
Old Camberwell representative. 6 times BNFs at Old Camberwell, so he's been an absolute great of that club. And this might be one of his biggest moments of his footballing career. Away to Bendigo, deep into the second period of extra time. James Allen comes in on the right and goals it. And a mass following. They've brought down more people than you would think with the noise that loud here, the VAFA. But they now have an important 11-point lead, and there's probably less than 2 or 3 minutes to go in this one. 12-9-81. Bendigo 9-16-70. 3 minutes 45 gone in the second period of extra time. I'm trying to get my head around that. Score sponsor, Parsons Towing, Castlemaine Live 25, local fresh footy. Cal Cummings, what a moment.
So important in the context of the game, because you're right, we've probably only got a couple of minutes plus the extra time for stoppages. Bendigo, they need 2 straight.
The last 3 goals of the game to the Big V. Buzz it all over the footy. McGlashan's with him. Hugo will just stand up. He'll be brought down. Tardrew is fighting desperately to try and win this ball forward. A whistle going the way of the Bendigo Footy League. Not going to Tardrew, I think. No. So he will get the handball received from Fallon, who was awarded the free kick. He goes wide on the bounce. It's Haddo, who goes along through right half forward. Storming through is Smith. Runs to 60 metres. Inside 50 from behind. The fly comes at ground level. Spinning through. Great tackle Linehan. Brought down Antonowitz, who spun and is caught, and he's gone. Cal Linehan, the skipper of the Big V, from the last line. 5 minutes gone, second period of extra time. It's the Amos 81, the Bendigo Footy League 70.
That's a big call. I haven't probably seen too many of them ones paid this afternoon. But gee, Linehan has been magnificent. Captain's moments in this period. Turnover Bendigo, they'll wheel inside forward 50 from Vescovi. Vescovi's kick just carried over its intended target. Now they'll wheel it out of there, the Amos though. Busatul again has been absolutely superb. And as has Bailey Pays as well, as the game has gone on. He's been BOG in the 2 periods of extra time here, I reckon, Bailey Pays. Maybe not overall, but he's stood up and took his moments when they've come. Kicked down the line, Reaper could have marked it, decided to punch it over the boundary line instead. And a boundary throw-in will occur. 5.5 gone, final quarter. Remember, it's 5-minute period plus extra time, and Bendigo need 2 straight goals. Might be a little bit too much from here, but this game has thrown up some interesting stuff today. I'm not prepared to write it off.
You can't write off either squad, can you, Cam Power? It's just been a monstrous game of footy. Everything that you can think of has happened. That thrilling goal from Bailey Pays, the ice-cold shot of Jimmy Allen, a commentator calling the game over when it's still got 5 minutes to go. We've had it all. 70-81, 6 minutes gone, ball out of play. Right half forward for the Amos. 9-16-70, the Bendigo Footy League. 12-9-81, the VAFA. So poor goal kicking might have cost the Golden Blue. Time enough still. Back into play, right half forward. The fist might go straight out of bounds. Tardrew has something to say about that. Picks it up on the left foot, kicks it down the wing, flying over the head though of Maxted. Intercepted, Linehan came storming out, wanted Brockner by hand. Interfering with the handball was Smith. Clarkson is there on the outside. Maxted at 50, goes to the goal square. Hartley, mark. 15 metres out. He doesn't take long to take his set shots. He sprints back to the top of his mark. This for a 5-point ball game. Hartley, he has missed it.
Oh no.
He has missed.
Pointing out directly in front.
I know you had to be quick, but that was a genuine rush shot at goal.
71 plays 81. The VAFA in the lead by 10 points. Our score sponsor, Aussie Disposals, Live 25, local fresh footy.
He doesn't take much time with his kicks, but even for him it felt like it was extremely rushed, and he just hooked it. So Horsfeld gets the short pass, and he'll happily take 30 seconds off the clock here. And I reckon the Amos have done enough. That was Bendigo's last chance. Absolute epic. They won by 13 points last year, and they come to Bendigo and retain their crown over Bendigo footy in exceptional circumstances. 12-9-81 to 9-17-71. An extra time epic. They couldn't be settled after 120 minutes. They needed an extra 10. And in that extra 10, the VAFA prevail. The big moment there coming from the VAFA in the first period of extra time. Bailey Pays with an absolute cracker, and then stepping up and delivering for them in the second period there for the VAFA. It was magnificent. Cal, try and summarise that game up. It had everything.
I don't think I can. I don't think you're right. It had absolutely everything from the first quarter where the VAFA, they got off to an absolute flyer. Then particularly in that third quarter when the Big V had the breeze, it was Bendigo who just kept their nose in the contest. Just a one-goal game going into the final quarter. And it was only fitting, given how good that contest was, that we found ourselves in extra time, let alone the confusion, whether it was 1 or 2 periods.
So, I suppose the thing was, what I'm going to say...
The crowd's giving it to you.
Never wrong, just early. Never
the crowd
wrong,
is giving it to you, Paddy.
Never wrong, just early. I just want to talk about the Bailey Pays goal. Early in that extra time period, a minute in to put the VAFA in front. It was a superb running, rolling finish. I think by about 11 p.m. tonight, that goalie would have been outside of the field of play. He would have run half the field to kick it. That's going to be one of the great tall stories of the Victorian Amateur Footy Association in its history. And it's fitting for the Big V that its 100th year centenary celebration, that such an epic plays out here at the QEO. It's a thrilling game of footy. And I think what must be said, Cam and Cal, is for a game of ultimately exhibition footy that's supposed to show off the best of both leagues, I think we saw that from both squads.
Absolutely we did.
The skill on display, the endeavour, the courage, the ability in front of goal as we watch the VAFA players celebrate their hard
I think this game,
victory.
I know a lot of people said it was a bit of an expedition game, but I think this game genuinely meant something to these players, and the way that they contested and threw themselves at the ball, especially in that last 5 minutes. Vescovi went back hard with the footy in front of us here, and he got absolutely crunched, but the adrenaline of the game and everything going on, he was just straight back up and contested that next ball. This game genuinely did mean a lot to these two sides, so it's a 2-0 win to the Ammos over the last 2 years over Bendigo now, so I don't know what the plan going further forward is if these two sides will meet again, but I reckon they'd be nearly keen to run it back after a day like today.
If today is a example of what kind of footy these two teams can play when they come up against each other, book this in for 20 years. What a game of football we've been lucky enough to watch here and bring to you live on Fresh FM and on vafa.com.au. We hope you enjoyed the contest. The Amateurs 12-9-81 defeating the Bendigo Footy League in extra time 9-17-71. Let's take a breath and go through the goal scorers. For the Ammos, 2 each for Mickey Nichols, Bailey Pays and Fewings, McGlashan, Buzzertool, Will Nichols, Boston Dowling, Riley Virtue, and then Jimmy Allen, the last goal of the day, all single goal kickers. For the Bendigo Footy League, it was, I suppose, just a precious few hitting the scoreboard. Max Ted kicked 3, Green and Hartley with 2 apiece, Harvey and Antonowitz the single goal kickers. For the Bendigo League, wow, what a finish to that game of footy. We'll have presentations downstairs. Our man on the boundary is Johnny Hunter. We might get down to you, Johnny, and just try and get an insight into the conditions and the vibe downstairs. Mate, it must be a thrill to be amongst these celebrating players after such an incredible game of footy.
Well, it certainly is. And interesting, the wind has died right down.
On this ground all year, so well done. First and foremost, let's put our hands together for both teams. Extra time thriller, absolutely sensational. Interleague footy. Alive and well, don't worry about that. We want to thank, of course, as we did our under-19s, our umpires did a fantastic job. Field boundary and goal. Thanks for your efforts. Much appreciated. Well done. And congratulations on your appointments for this game. Well done. Again, as we said earlier, to the teams behind the teams, coaches, managers, physios, runners, water boys, everyone involved from both the VAFA and the BFNL. Well done on your contribution to make today the success it's been. We want to thank our major sponsors, Workforce XS and the Bendigo Bank, and to say a few words on behalf of a very bitterly disappointed but also very unlucky losing team. I'd like to invite the coach of the BFNL, Simon Rosa, to come forward and say a few words. Thank you, Simon. Thanks, Ben. Amazing contest, guys. I think it was a real spectacle of interleague footy and rep footy that I don't think is definitely not over. Rep footy, we want to continue it. So I want to thank Luke, your coaching staff, your whole organisation. Looking from far, it just seems like it's an amazing organisation, guys, and wish you guys well. The playing group, you look like you played together a lot more than you probably do. You're made up of like 29 different sides, I think it is. You come together well every year, and you deserve the win today, so all the best. I want to thank our sponsors, Workforce, Bendigo Bank, Premier Data, Evolution Pools, Fair Dinkum Builds, and I may have forgotten some, but interleague footy doesn't happen without the support of our sponsors. So thank you guys for helping us get on the park. Tommy King and the Bendigo League Board, thanks for believing in myself and the coaching group. You know, we felt like we put a side together to compete well this year, and I felt we did that even though we went down. So to my playing group, I've been super proud of my boys. We got to camp about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and just the way they connected from the very start was super. So we didn't get the chocolates today, boys, but we'll stick together and we'll go again next year. Thanks.
Thanks, Ron. All right, now to the winning team, and I'd like to invite the coach of the VAFA, Luke Marnie, to come forward and say a few words.
Yeah, firstly, I'd like to thank the Bendigo Footy League for today. We're really grateful for the opportunity to play interleague, and I know a lot goes on behind the scenes to pull this together, so thank you very much for hosting us. And like 2 games that we've had now over the last 2 years, we've gone either way, and we've been lucky and fortunate to be on the right side of those, and certainly looking forward to future games between Bendigo and ourselves, so thanks for hosting today. Congratulations to the umpires who were part of it. We're also representing their groups and their leagues and did a fantastic job today. Trying to blend 2 different rules from 2 different competitions is not easy as well, and so they did a fantastic job doing that. The Simon and the boys, as I said, that could have gone either way. The game had plenty of momentum in it. We were on the right side of it when they came to the end, but you can see you guys were a united group. Took it up to us for 4 quarters there, and well done on your campaign, and yeah, hopefully we get to do that again next year. To the VAFA, thank all the support from the admin staff, and a lot of work goes in behind the scenes that's been absorbed by the operations team or the communications team, to be able to put the show on that we put on today. So appreciate all the work that goes into that. Also our coaches that helped out. We've been working together now for about 6 weeks. We've put in a power of work to be able to get to this position, get the right players in place for today, and they were super for us today. And then lastly to our players, what a fantastic effort from you guys. We were in all sorts of trouble there at one stage during the 3rd quarter, but you gritted your teeth and you hung in there and got on the right side of it, so well done to you boys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Luke. Well done. Congratulations to you and your side. Now the best of field recipients. I'd like to invite Simon back on behalf of the BFNL, and also a man who's arguably one of the most talented footballers to represent the Bendigo Football Netball League, Derek Philo, to come forward as well. And the medal is named. And after Derek and Simon, I'll get you to reveal who your best player was.
Yeah, our best player for the day was one of our skippers, Lockie Tarju. Well played.
Well, Lockie, congratulations, thank you, Derek, as well. Now I'll invite Luke back to the microphone to do the same on behalf of the VAFA and announce their best on field.
Our best today was our midfielder for Williamstown C1S, Jordan Bustle.
All right, Luke, I'll get you to hold here. Just get a photo quickly before we also invite Callum Minahan, your captain, to come forward and obviously receive the trophy for taking out today's interleague clash here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. So we'll get that to come across. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to VAFA and also to the BFNL on their amazing effort in what was a great afternoon of footy. Well done. Thanks to everyone for coming along today and showing your support of interleague football. It's greatly appreciated. Safe travels home and we'll see you back here again in 2026. Thanks a lot.